among the county governments. To undertake its oversight role effectively, the Senate requires a standard, scientific, objective, and transparent tool which can measure the performance of county governments on the adherence to the fiscal responsibility principles envisioned in the Constitution and Statute, including the Public Finance Management Act and the County Governments Act. Now, over the years, however, such a tool has not been developed. To bridge this gap, a scientific performance measurement tool has been prepared by the Parliamentary Budget Office. This is the County Physical Performance Measurement Index, CFPMI, which is grounded on the key public finance management indicators. The CFPMI is a composite score meant to evaluate and benchmark the socio-economic performance of counties based on the public finance management principles and ideals. It summarizes the performance of counties across several indicators, including budget implementation efficiency, development expenditure, and audit opinions, which with normalized values ranging between 0 and 1 for scoring performance levels. Now, Honorable Senators, this publication, along with Honorable Senators, along with 4 others launched earlier in the year, on the 30th of May 2026, will constitute part of the Senate's institutional memory and serve as a useful and practical reference material for yourselves, members of the National Assembly, county assemblies, parliamentary officers, scholars, researchers, and members of the general public who are interested in legislative work. It also makes a significant contribution to the continuous capacity development of legislators and parliamentary staff. I will preside over the launch of the County Physical Performance Measurement Index on Thursday, the 6th of August 2026 at 11 a.m. and all Honorable Senators are invited to attend this very momentous ceremony. I thank you. Yes, Honorable Senators, you may take your seats. Yes, Majority Leader, what is your intervention?
Oh, thank you. Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to make a slight comment. What you have commented is very important and monumental. Unfortunately, number one, the AC first in the room was, I think, at 0 degrees. So most members were freezing instead of listening to you. But more importantly, we are just walking to the House, and it's a Tuesday, and it's the first business you've considered. Yet you have commented or communicated to the House perhaps one of the most important communications to ever come out of the Speaker's table, Mr. Speaker, in a way in which, as a House, you are telling us that you are transitioning us from just over and above the work that we do, moving to a place where we do our work beyond the call of just semantics. But listening to you, Mr. Speaker, you are telling the country that the Senate of the Republic of Kenya will on Thursday, if I got you correct, Mr. Speaker, this Thursday, that should be the 6th of August 2026, lead the country to appreciating an objective evaluation of the performance of county governments across the Republic while commissioning a report of the same. Mr. Speaker, that is momentous and could not go without a comment or two from the honorable members of this House, Mr. Speaker. So I wanted to request, if you'd permit, I know not all of us will get the chance to speak on the same on Thursday when you're launching this report. But it is just important that the country be made to be aware that send your best journalists to the House on Thursday at 10 a.m., as you have guided, Mr. Speaker. But more importantly is for members to interact with that report and share their perspectives. You know, Mr. Speaker, Senate has been an idle bystander as busybodies have been buying agencies in this town to rate their performance. and say as so-and-so, I am the best performing governor, or this or that. But now the Senate has properly taken its place as constitutionally expected. And that needs a special mention and appreciation. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for leading us well in this venture. I thank you.
Thank you, Majority Leader. What will be the neatest way of handling this particular issue? Would it be now for honorable members to comment, or the report is launched, it's tabled before the Senate so that members can go through it, and once it's tabled, then members will be in a better position to comment on the same? So then kindly gather with me on the date and time that I've just announced. Let us launch this particular report. I believe maybe the Majority Leader, or maybe the Chair Finance and Budget could table the report. Thereupon, honorable senators will have an opportunity to speak to that report. I have a further communication to make before we move to another order. I would like to acknowledge the presence in the Speaker's Gallery this afternoon of a visiting delegation from the Parliament of the Kingdom of Lesotho. The delegation comprises 10 members of staff from the Parliament. The delegation is in the Senate to undertake a benchmarking visit. This visit is informed by the passage of the 10th Amendment to the Constitution of the Kingdom of Lesotho on the 13th of August 2025, which mandates Parliament to enact enabling laws that will definitely establish the Parliament Service Commission and the Parliament Budget Office with the sole purpose of creating an independent and autonomous Parliament. Honourable Senators, I request each member of the delegation to stand when called out so that you may be acknowledged in the Senate tradition. Mr. Kotso Mano Molela. As the Deputy Clerk of the Senate, Ms. Libuseng Majoro. Deputy Clerk, National Assembly, Mr. Lereko Mane, Director, Parliamentary Budget Office, National Assembly, Mrs. Masefefe Matete, Chief Legal Officer. You'll like, excuse me the way I'm pronouncing the names. Maybe it may not be the correct way to pronounce them, but I'll try. Being a Bantu, I'll try to my best. Mr. Fusi Libete, Finance Manager, National Assembly, Mr. Teboho Sekese, the Chief Research Officer, Senate, Mr. Mosito Lelimo, Mrs. Malineo Molele, Ms. Leneo Moleleki, Mrs. Mabasia Matabane. Now, on behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to you and to the entire delegation and wish you a fruitful and enriching visit. I will request the Senate Majority Leader to extend a word of welcome to welcome this delegation.
Mr. Speaker, I welcome these distinguished colleagues of ours from the Kingdom in the Sky, as Lesotho is famously known, the only independent country in the world that is above 1,000 feet. I have been to South Africa, Mr. Speaker, but my escapades did not allow me to enter the Kingdom of Lesotho. I do promise, Mr. Speaker, having, Mr. Speaker, I will reject the incitement that I'm receiving from members to ask you what that country has to offer, because I'm told you are a frequent visitor, Mr. Speaker.
Majority Leader, you're supposed to welcome the visitors, not welcoming the Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, I was only requesting that at the next visit, please let me accompany you to this beautiful country.
You can see the Senator for Nairobi City County smiling.
I know he's your deputy during those escapades, Mr. Speaker. I thank you, Mr. Speaker. I do hope that our colleagues will get an opportunity to interact with a good number of colleagues here and deliver in the invitation, Mr. Speaker, that for some weird reason is always preserved only for the Senator for Nairobi and the Speaker, Mr. Speaker. This time, by Kithni Ondikni, we will join you when you go to Lesotho. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Honorable Senators, also I would wish to acknowledge the presence of a visiting delegation of 14 teachers and 147 students from St. Mary's Kibuk Girls Senior School in Bungoma County, who are seated in the public gallery. The delegation is visiting the Senate for an academic exposition. Now, on behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation and wish them a fruitful visit. I will request the Senator for Bungoma and 1 minute to extend the word welcome.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika kwa nafasi hii ambayo umenipa niwakaribishe wanafunzi ambao naona Mheshimiwa Spika wako nadhifu katika sare zao nzuri Mheshimiwa Spika. Wanafunzi hawa wanatoka Mlima Elgon, eneo bunge hilo Mheshimiwa Spika. Wadi ya Kaptama inaopakana na Elgon Ward, na wale ambao wanatoka bonde la Ufa. Mlima Elgon kwa lugha asilia Kapkugo inamaanisha kitovu cha jamii ya Wakalenjin. Hawa ni kielelezo kwamba Kenya hii yeyote anaweza fika nyadhifa yoyote, anaweza chukua taaluma yoyote na akapata kila anachotaka katika nchi ya Kenya. Na ni baadhi ya wanafunzi ambao hufanya vyema katika mitihani ya kitaifa, na sina shaka na sitaona aibu kuwakaribisha katika jumba la Senate. Hapa ndipo seneta wenu hubobea katika kutunga sheria. Hapa ndipo seneta wenu humairika wa Kenya wanaposikiza akiwatetea wale wachochole katika nchi ya Kenya. Wale wasichana wa shule hiyo yenu, kuna mabinti hapa maseneta walitia bidii katika masomo yao. Kutoka Bungoma niko na B Senator Koni wa Kwabubi, tuko na commissioner kutoka bunde la Ufa Mheshimiwa Joyce na wengine wengi. Sasa iwapo wewe unataka kuwa kiongozi, tazama hapa kuna mifano yote ya wale waliobobea, waliosoma, na yote inawezekana chini ya jua na juu ya ardhi na hata ndani ya maji. Asante Mheshimiwa Spika, naomba nikomee hapo. Nitakutana nanyi baadaye ili muweze kuendelea kujivunia na kuvuna matunda ya seneta wenu mchapa kazi. Asante sana na Mungu awalinde.
Honorable Senators, I would like to acknowledge the presence of a visiting delegation of 10 teachers and 91 students from Kabartegan Boys High School. I believe the majority leader will correct me in that pronunciation. From Kericho County, who are seated in the public gallery. The delegation is visiting the Senate for an academic exposition. On behalf of the Senate and on my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to the delegation and wish them a fruitful visit. Also, I'd wish to acknowledge the presence of a visiting delegation of 9 teachers and 39 students from my Lolong Comprehensive School in Rock County, who are seated in the public gallery. The delegation is also visiting the Senate for an academic exposition. On behalf of the Senate and my own behalf, I extend a warm welcome to them and wish them a fruitful visit. I will request the majority leader to extend a word of welcome to welcome these 2 delegations.
Mr. Speaker, I don't know why you're debating whether to allow me to welcome both. You know, Narok and Kericho is in the south of the rift, and I am something there. Mr. Speaker, I welcome these students from Kabartegan High School, one of the very top performing schools in Bureti sub-county, in back at home. And it's one of the oldest schools as well, Mr. Speaker, that I've had the opportunity actually to visit a couple of times, including a few months ago. I had an event in that school. And I know they're here on a study tour. one of their teachers, Mr. Buzeki, who's a good and ardent supporter of mine, had informed me earlier. I used to work with him before he joined the school as a teacher, that they'd be here. Therefore, I'm glad that these students have found time on a busy afternoon when you have good quorum. I do hope, Mr. Speaker, that when we do the traditional walk to say hi to the students, get an opportunity to invite one or two of my colleagues so that these students can meet them and enjoy. I also welcome the visiting students from Narok County as well, who are here just to learn, interact, get to see the workings of Parliament, Mr. Speaker, so that I appreciate what legislators do in this House. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Next order, clerk.
Order number 3, messages. Order number 4, petitions. Order number 5, papers.
The Majority Leader.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, Tuesday, 4th August 2026. The Parliamentary Service, Constituency and County Offices Regulations, Legal Number 137 of 2026. Senate Majority Leader. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Chairperson, Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights. Any member of JLAC? Where are the members of JLAC? Proceed.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to lay the following papers on the table of the Senate today, 4th August 2026. Report of the Study Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on the consideration of the Constitution of Kenya Amendment Bill, Senate Bill number 13 of 2025. 2. Report of the Study Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights on its consideration of the Constitution of Kenya Amendment number 2 Bill, Senate Bills number 16 of 2025. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is on behalf of the Chairperson, Standing Committee on Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The Chairperson, Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I beg to lay the following paper on the table of the Senate today, Tuesday, 4th August 2026. Report of the Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries on its consideration of the Agriculture Produce Minimum Guaranteed Returns Bill, Senate number 17 of 2025. Chairperson, Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Next order.
Order number 6, notices of motion. Order number 7, questions and statements.
Now, request for statement pursuant to Standing Order 53-1, Senator for Embu County, the Honorable Alexander Mundigi.
Mr. Speaker, sir, request for statement on corrupt branch at Ndato Ferenc in Embu County. Mr. Speaker, sir, rise person to Standing Order 53-1 to check a statement from the Standing Committee on Loans, Transportation and Housing on matter of county-wide concern regarding the collapsed branch at Ndato Ferenc in Embu County, which connecting Bere North and Manyata constituency. Mr. Speaker, sir, the branch collapsed 5 years ago, severely disrupting movement and access between the two constituencies dispute its importance to the affected communities. No tangible progress has been made towards construction, undermining residents' right to safe and reliable infrastructure. In the statement, the committee should address the following: the plans to reconstruct the bridge, including the scope of works, the responsible implementing agency and the timelines for commencement and completion, the funds allocated for reconstruction of the bridge, including the relevant financial year and the estimated project cost. 3. Steps taken to provide residents and other road users with a safe alternative crossing pending reconstruction of the bridge. The measures ensure timely assessment, repair, and rehabilitation of critical road infrastructure whenever such failures occur in the future. Senator Alexander Munyimondigi, Senator for Embu County. Mr. Speaker, I have another statement.
You may proceed.
Mr. Speaker, sir, request for statement on provision of service under the Teachers Medical Scheme. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to check a statement from the Standing Committee on Education on matter of national concern regarding provision of service under the Teachers Medical Scheme and administered by Medical Administrators Kenya Limited MAKL Insurance Scheme. Mr. Speaker, sir, persistent delays in setting medical claims submitted by accredited healthcare providers between June 2025 and March 2026 have caused financial strain on healthcare providers and, in some cases, resulted in disruption or denial of medical service to teachers and their dependents. Further, concerns have been raised about a reported deduction of 20% from patients' claims, raising questions of legality, accountability, and protection of teachers' right to timely health care. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1. The total number and value of unsettled claims for the period June 2025 to March 2026, disaggregated by a provider and the other reasons for delayed settlement. The legal, contractual, or policy justification for the reported deduction of 20% from patients' claims, the total amount deducted and the beneficiary of such deductions. 3. Whether the Ministry of Education or the Teacher Service Commission, TSC, has undertaken audits or investigations into the delays and the finding or actions taken against responsible parties. Steps being taken to settle all outstanding claims owed to accredited healthcare providers, including clear timeline for payment. Measures by the Ministry, TLC, and scheme administered to prevent disruption of service and guarantees teachers and their dependents timely access to quality health care. Thank you, Senator for Embu County, Dr. Alexander Munyimondigi, and Acting Deputy Majority.
Senator Osotsi.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I wish to request for a statement on the ongoing harassment of the residents of Munungo village in Mwibona ward of Vihiga County and the neighboring Ramula area which is on the boundary with Siaya. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on the matter of county-wide concern regarding the continued harassment of the residents of Munungo village, Miwona ward, Vihiga County, and the nearby Ramula village, which is on the boundary with Siaya. Since 7th April 2026, in connection with the mineral prospecting activity in the area. Mr. Speaker, sir, residents of this area have been subjected to continuous harassment, intimidation, restricted access to their homes and farms, unlawful entry, displacement, destruction of property, confiscation of personal effects like mobile phones, and unauthorized access to personal data. Security officers have continued operations despite conservative orders on 5th February 2026 by the Environment and Lands Court sitting in Siaya, which barred any involuntary resettlement, land acquisition, or related compensation processes by Shanta Gold pending the hearing of petition number ELC 1 petition case number E002 of 2025. Demonstrations arising from the disputes in that area have led to numerous deaths, injuries, unlawful arrests, while motorcycles and other properties belonging to the residents remain in police custody. Mr. Speaker, this Sunday, I held a public participation in that area. And immediately I left, the police descended on the people there.
Senator Osotsi, read your statement as approved by the chair, please.
Very well. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the circumstances surrounding the deployment of police officers, including officers of the General Service Unit, GSU, to Munungo village, outlining their mandate, the duration of the operation, and the persons or entities that requested or authorized the deployment. 2, the status of investigation into the reports of harassment, intimidation, unlawful entry into homes, displacement, trespass, destruction of property, and unlawful confiscation of or access to residents' mobile phones and personal data, including action against culpable officers. 3, the status of compliance with the conservative orders issued by the Environment and Land Court and the findings of investigation into the relationship between the entities undertaking mineral prospecting activities and the deployment or conduct of security officers. 4, the status of investigation into the death, injuries, and arrests arising from demonstration in the area, including the measures taken to establish accountability and prevent recurrence. 5, the number and description of motorcycles and other properties held by the police following the security operation, the legal basis for their continued detention, and the measures taken to facilitate their lawful release. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Fatuma Dulo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Sir, I rise pursuant to standing orders 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on a matter of county-wide concern regarding the rising cases of insecurity in Isiolo County. Mr. Speaker, sir, within a span of 1 week, Isiolo County witnessed several violent incidences that resulted in the loss of lives and heightened fear among residents. On 20th July 2026, Mrs. Angelina Kananu, a businesswoman, was shot dead in a targeted attack, prompting protests by residents and traders demanding justice and enhanced security. Further, Mrs. Nasibo Tadicha Abdi, an 18-year-old girl who went missing from Malkagala location in Cherab Ward on 22nd July 2026, was later found dead on 23rd July. On 23rd July 2026, Mr. Isa Mohammed, a student at Isiolo Boys High School, was shot and killed in an incident involving a police officer. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, the circumstances surrounding the death of Mrs. Angelina Kananu, Mrs. Nasibo Tadicha Abdi, and Mr. Isa Mohammed, including the status of investigation, arrest made, and persons charged. Number two, the measures
Senator
taken...
Chute and Senator Mundigi, take your seats.
Number two, measures taken by national security agencies to address rising insecurity in Isiolo County, including the deployment of additional security personnel, patrols, and equipment. Number three, the adequacy of police presence, equipment, and response capacity in Isiolo County, particularly in Isiolo Town and Cherab Ward, relative to the population and prevailing security threats. Number four, the measures taken to investigate the involvement of police officer in the shooting of Mr. Isa Mohammed and ensure accountability, including the status of investigation by the Independent Police Oversight Authority. Finally, Mr. Speaker, the measures being taken in collaboration with the county government, local administrators, and community policing structures to restore public confidence and ensure the safety of residents, traders, and students in Isiolo County. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Kavindu.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Request for statement on alleged abduction of Mr. Jimmy Mutava in Mulolongo, Machakos County. Mr. Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53.1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee of National Security, Defense and Foreign Relations on a matter of countrywide concerns regarding the alleged abduction of Mr. Jimmy Mutava in Mulolongo, Machakos County. Mr. Speaker, sir, the abduction of Mr. Mutava by armed, masked individuals has heightened public fear among residents of Mulolongo and the larger Machakos County and raised serious concerns about the resurgence of the abduction, undermining citizens' constitutional rights to security and protection. In the statement, the committee should address the following. One, the circumstances surrounding the alleged abduction of Mr. Jimmy Mutava, including the progress of investigations, the action taken by the National Police Service and other relevant security agencies to establish his whereabouts, and the timelines of the responses from the time the incident was reported. Two, whether any suspects have been identified or arrested, and the measures being undertaken to ensure a swift, impartial, and transparent that will bring the perpetrators to justice. Three, the steps the government is taking to curb the rising cases of abductions and enforced disappearances, strengthen the public safety in Machakos County and nationwide, and restore public confidence in the country's security agencies. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senator Agnes Kavindu Mudhama, the Senator, Machakos County. Thank you.
Senator Esi Okenyuri.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Request for statement on the exclusion of junior secondary school teachers from the ongoing Teacher Service Commission promotion exercise. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education on a matter of national concern regarding the exclusion of junior secondary school teachers from the ongoing Teacher Service Commission promotion exercise for the financial year 2026-2027.
Senator Esi, just draw closer to your microphone, please.
Okay. Request for a statement on the exclusion of junior secondary school teachers from the ongoing Teacher Service Commission TSC promotion exercise. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Education on a matter of national concern regarding the exclusion of junior secondary school teachers from the ongoing Teacher Service Commission promotion exercise for the financial year 2026-2027. Mr. Speaker, sir, the Teacher Service Commission has advertised for over 34,000 promotional vacancies for teachers across the country. However, concerns have arisen that qualified teachers serving in the junior secondary schools have been excluded from the exercise, as the online application system only recognizes teachers deployed to primary and senior secondary schools. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the reasons for excluding JSS teachers from the ongoing promotion exercise, stating whether the exclusion is consistent with the TSC's human resource and career progression policies, and the number of JSS teachers eligible for promotion. 2, whether the TSC intends to review the promotion framework and online application system to enable qualified JSS teachers to apply for promotion opportunities, and if so, provide the timelines for the review. And finally, the measures to ensure that all qualified teachers, regardless of their level of deployment, have equitable access to promotion, professional development, and career advancement opportunities. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Manzo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a request for a statement on the market access for farm produce from Makueni County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism on matter of countrywide concern regarding market access for mangoes, green grams, and pigeon peas produced in Makueni County. Makueni County, Mr. Speaker, sir, Makueni County is a leading producer of mangoes, green grams, and pigeon peas, which are key sources of income and livelihood for thousands of farmers, despite being leading source of income and livelihoods for thousands of residents. Farmers of these crops face persistent challenges in accessing reliable domestic and export markets, meeting quality and sanitary standards, and copy with sharp price fluctuations during peak harvest. The results has been significant post-harvest losses and reduced returns, particularly for mango farmers. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1, the measures the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry is taking to secure reliable domestic and export markets for mangoes, green grams, and pigeon peas from Makueni County, and to ensure farmers receive their fair and competitive prices. 2, the support be provided to farmers and cooperatives to meet quality, safety, and phytosanitary standards required for regional and international markets. 3, the interventions in place to stabilize prices and cushion farmers from losses during market gluts in peak harvest seasons. 4, the lessons learned from the challenges experienced by mango farmers during the last harvest season, and the measures be implemented to improve market access and strengthen value chain and reduce future post-harvest losses. Daniel Manzo, Senator Makueni. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Senator Chimera.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is a request for a statement on the status of implementation of the 2017 Collective Bargaining Agreement, CBA, for healthcare workers. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of nationwide concern regarding the status of implementation of the 2017 Collective Bargaining Agreement, CBA, affecting healthcare workers, especially nurses in the counties. Mr. Speaker, sir, the 2017 CBA between the Kenya National Union of Nurses, KNUN, and the government emerged from long-running disputes over pay, allowances, and working conditions. And while it was meant to settle those grievances through a return-to-work framework, implementation has remained slow and uneven, especially at county level. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number 1, the status of implementation of the 2017 Collective Bargaining Agreement, CBA, in each county, indicating the provisions that have been fully implemented, partially implemented, or remain outstanding. Number 2, the number of nurses and other health workers affected by non-implementation of the 2017 CBA per county, including salary harmonization, grading, promotions, redesignation, and paid arrears and delayed absorption into permanent and pensionable terms. Further, identify the counties that have failed to absorb eligible health workers on permanent and pensionable terms and explain the reasons for the continued use of temporary or contractual employment. Number 3, Mr. Speaker, the amounts budgeted, released, and utilized in the financial year 2025-2026 and financial year 2026-2027 for implementing of the 2017 CBA and related return-to-work commitments in each county. Number 4, Mr. Speaker, the measures taken to enforce county government's compliance with the scheme of service, promotion guidelines, and applicable labor and public service standards in the health sector. And lastly, Mr. Speaker, the immediate and long-term measures being implemented to prevent recurrent health workers' strikes and ensure uninterrupted healthcare services in county referral hospitals and other public health facilities. Yours truly. Thank you.
Senator Sifuna.
Speaker, first allow me to correct the record. You know, there was references to the Senator of Nairobi visiting the Kingdom of Lesotho. I have never been to Lesotho. I think the majority leader was conflating Lesotho with the Kingdom of Eswatini, formerly known as Swaziland.
Even the chair has not visited Lesotho.
Correct. So I wanted to protect you, Speaker. When I was in the Speaker's good books, I was the permanent representative of the Senate to the Kingdom of Eswatini. Honorable Speaker, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Labor and Social Welfare on a matter of countrywide concern regarding the welfare of workers at Hela Intimates EPZ Limited in the Kitengela Athi River zone. Mr. Speaker, over 3,000 workers are in distress due to delayed salaries and companies' failure to remit statutory deductions like the National Social Security Fund, Higher Education Loans Board, and Savings and Credit Cooperative Societies contributions for several months. This situation, alongside unpaid severance and terminal benefits owed to workers, as well as substantial amounts owed to suppliers, exposing both workers and suppliers to vulnerability when companies cease operations or exit without settling financial and statutory obligations. In the statement, the committee should address the following. Number one, the current status of salary arrears, statutory deductions, severance pay, and outstanding payments to suppliers. Number two, investigations into the company's failure to remit statutory deductions and pay lawful benefits and action taken against responsible parties. Thirdly, the legal and regulatory safeguards in place to protect workers and suppliers when investors close or cease operations without settling salaries, statutory deductions, terminal benefits, and other lawful debts. And finally, measures by the Ministry of Labour and Social Protection and relevant agencies to ensure timely access to salaries, benefits, and statutory entitlements in similar cases going forward. I thank you, Speaker.
Senator Faki.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order number 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Lands, Environment and Natural Resources on a matter of inter-county concern regarding the disbursement of funds under the Kenya Marine Fisheries and Socio-Economic Development KEMSFED project. Mr. Speaker, sir, the project valued at Kenya shillings 10 billion for the period 2020-2025 is implemented by the government of Kenya through the State Department of Blue Economy Fisheries with the support from the World Bank. It covers the 5 coastal counties of Kwale, Mombasa, Kilifi, Tana River, and Lamu, and aims at to strengthen marine fisheries management and secure sustainable livelihoods for coastal communities. In the statement, Mr. Speaker, sir, the committee should address the following. Number one, the amount of money disbursed and spent in each county per financial year from the year 2020 to 2025. Number two, a breakdown of the projects undertaken in each county, their respective budgets, and a detailed list of beneficiary groups supported under the project. Number three, the reasons for delays in the procurement of boats for Mombasa, Kilifi, and Kwale counties, and the basis of restricting beneficiary groups from independently procuring goods and services for their projects. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senator Mohamed Faki Munyahaji, Senator for the County of Mombasa.
Senator Lomenen.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir. I stand to request for a statement on the state of healthcare service delivery in Turkana County. Mr. Speaker, sir, I rise pursuant to Standing Order 53-1 to seek a statement from the Standing Committee on Health on a matter of country concern regarding the deteriorating state of health service delivery in Turkana County, particularly at Lodwar County Referral Hospital and other public health facilities across the county. Mr. Speaker, sir, residents of Turkana County continue to face persistent challenges, including shortages of essential medicines, inadequate staffing of crowded health facilities, delayed treatment, and difficulties accessing services under the Social Health Authority, SHA. Concerns have also been raised that county government employees continue to have statutory health deductions made from their salaries despite being unable to access benefits under the county medical cover and SHA, forcing many to meet medical expenses from their own resources. These challenges have reportedly resulted in avoidable suffering, adverse outcomes, and in some cases, loss of life, underscoring the need to urgent intervention to safeguard the constitutional rights to health care. In the statement, the committee should address the following. 1. The current status of health care service delivery in Turkana County, including Lodwar County Referral Hospital and all public health facilities, with details on staffing levels, bed capacity, availability of essential medicines, medical equipment, critical medical supplies, health care infrastructure, congestion in health facilities, referral services, and measures being implemented to address existing gaps. 2. The status of implementation of the Social Health Authority, SHA, and country employees' medical cover in Turkana County, including challenges affecting access to health care, reasons for continued SHA deduction despite reported service failures, measures to ensure uninterrupted and emergency health care services, and engagement with relevant national agencies to resolve the challenges. 3. Measures the county government has put in place to compensate or reimburse country employees, patients, and families who suffered financial hardships, adverse health outcomes, or loss of loved ones due to failure or inaccessibility of county medical cover, and the Social Health Authority, including any assessment undertaken and redress mechanisms established. 4. The budgetary allocation to the county health sector from year 2025 and to 2026 to date, the amount utilized, the programs funded, and the measures being implemented to ensure prudent utilization of resources, strengthen accountability and oversight, investigate complaints of negligence and poor service delivery, and restore public confidence in Turkana County's health services. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, sir.
Now, honorable senators, we will come back for comments, but allow me, pursuant to Standing Order 45-2, to rearrange today's order paper so that we handle order number 11, order number 11 to 14, and thereafter come back for the comments, for the statements that have been requested. Clerk. Yes, Senator Faki.
There was the report of the Delegated Legislation Committee, and I can see the chair is in the House, on the consideration of the 5 or so instruments from the NTSA. Maybe it has been pending on this order paper for a long time, since the 11th of June. Thank you.
So we'll come back to that once we are done with the orders that I've just mentioned. Clerk, proceed to call those orders.
Order number 11, the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill, National Assembly Bills number 61 of 2022. Second reading, division.
Sergeant at Arms, kindly ring the division bell for 3 minutes. Sergeant at Arms, kindly close the doors and draw the bar. Now, Honorable Senators, we are doing division on order number 11. That is the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill. No. Senator Mbugua and Senator Joyce, kindly proceed to dispatch and cast your vote. And honorable senators, we will move to the next order, and then at the end, I will announce the results for each order at the same time. Senator Joyce and Senator Mbugua, kindly proceed to dispatch and cast your vote. Clerk, kindly call order number 13. Senator Joyce and Senator Mbugua, proceed to dispatch and cast your vote. Senator Mundigi, proceed to dispatch and cast your vote. Next order.
Order number 14, the Mining Amendments Bill, Senate Bills number 22 of 2025. Second reading, division.
Senator Joyce, Senator Mbugua, proceed to dispatch and cast your vote. Senator Dulo, Senator Morango, and Senator Mundigi, proceed to dispatch and cast your vote. And Senator Onyonka. Honorable Senators, kindly take your seat, those who are standing. Now, the result of the division is as follows. Starting with order number 11, that is the Assisted Reproductive Technology Bill, National Assembly Bills number 61 of 2022. The ayes are 27, nays 0, abstention 0. So the ayes have it.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the regulation of assisted reproductive technology, to prohibit certain practices in connection with assisted reproductive technology, to make provision in relation to children born of assisted reproductive technology processes and for connected purposes.
Now the vote on order number 12, that is the Kenya Roads Amendment number 3 bill, National Assembly Bills number 3 of 2025. The ayes 2, the nays 25, abstention 0. So the nays have it. The result on order number 13, that is the referendum bill, Senate Bills number 3 of 2026. Nays are 24 votes. The nays 1, abstention 2. So the ayes have it. For clarity, allow me to announce the result once again. The ayes at 24, nays 1 vote, abstention 2 votes. So the ayes have it. And that is on order number 13, the referendum bill, Senate Bills number 3 of 2026.
A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the conduct of referendum and for connected purposes.
Now the result on order number 14, that is the Mining Amendment Bill, Senate Bills number 22 of 2025. The ayes 20, nays 7, abstention 0. So having failed to attain the requisite threshold, the bill is lost. Sergeant at Arms, you may now open the door and withdraw the bar. We will now proceed with the comments on the request on the statements under order number 7. Senator Kavindu Muthama.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity to comment on the statements. And I'll start with Senator Manso's statement on market access for farm produce from Makueni. Mr. Speaker, sir, this is a very important statement, and I would like the committee which will look into this to check on this countrywide, because like in Machakos, we grow a lot of mangoes and oranges and avocado. And these are produce that, Mr. Speaker, once they are ripened, they don't have a long term span for storing. So I would request the committee that will deal with this statement to speak to the ministry concerned so that they can build cold rooms in all the counties where we produce such produces that cannot be stored for long, so that the Mwananchi can at least store their produce and sell them at the right time when they get the market. And they also look for markets, not only for Makueni, but also Machakos and any other county where they grow such produces that do not last long. Mr. Speaker, farmers put a lot of hard labor on this farming, but they receive a very little income from it because of most of these produces go bad after a very short time. Mr. Speaker, the Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry should look for market locally and internationally for farmers, so that farmers can get money from the produces that they grow and keep them very well. Mr. Speaker, most of the people, the brokers who can get market on their own, they go and buy those produces from our farmers at a very throwaway price. You'll find that the broker gets more money than the farmer. So the ministry should really look into this so that the farmers can benefit. Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I support.
The Majority Leader.
Mr. Speaker, I want to make a comment on the statement by Senator Mundigi on teachers. But before I comment, I really want to celebrate Senator Mundigi. You know, I saw another man who I'm not sure whether he's sane, Mr. Speaker, in a green cap somewhere in Bere, saying that Senator Mundigi doesn't address the House in English. I think, Senator Mundigi, you should send today's clip to that deranged human being and tell him, hapa ni wapi, as they say. Mr. Speaker, Senator Mundigi has brought a very important issue. Growing up, Mr. Speaker, for a long time, the only pay slip in our house was my mother's teacher's salary. And therefore, when Mundigi speaks about this issue of MACL, the advanced medical scheme for teachers, it's something that I keep hearing being raised even in public gatherings where I am with teachers. And I don't know what will be the eventual resolution of that particular matter, Mr. Speaker. But I just do hope that our chair for education, Senator Montet, will give this matter the urgency that it deserves. Because in the last 1 month, I've been to celebrations of teachers who've been elected to be public officials in the Kupet elections. And on each occasion, this matter has come up as something that teachers want to be properly addressed with a final resolution. Therefore, Mr. Speaker, it is my hope that we can add our voice into a speedy resolution between TSC and the service provider of this service so that our teachers don't suffer any longer. But nonetheless, good work, Senator Mundigi. Please send that man this clip. I thank you.
Senator Sifuna.
Speaker, it's good I'm going after, another child of a teacher, and my story is quite similar. But Speaker, I wanted to very briefly touch on the statements that have been brought by both Senators Mundigi, Senator Chimera, and Senator Lomenen, the senator from Turkana. And it paints a very grim picture of our healthcare in the country, Honorable Speaker. From the statement by Mundigi, you can see these themes are recurrent. And every morning, Honorable Speaker, we wake up to very scary headlines about the state of healthcare in our country. In the morning, we saw a headline screaming that 1.2 billion shillings has been paid to a company that nobody knows, out of SHA, that in fact by, yeah? You will say that during your brief, Senator, but allow me to just say that it's not the first time that we are seeing such scary headlines, Honorable Speaker. You've heard Senator Chimera complain of repeated violations and non-respect for collective bargaining agreements that have been signed. As we speak right now, I am receiving an avalanche of complaints from nurses who work at Mathare National Teaching and Referral Hospital, Honorable Speaker, who have been on 3-month contracts from June of 2021. And if you compare, because of their status, Honorable Speaker, how much they are earning, compared to those of their colleagues who are on permanent and pensionable, Speaker, you can imagine they are earning 3 times less their colleagues for doing the exact same work. So all these stories that we see point to a problem or a crisis in the healthcare sector. And in fact, Kenyans are telling us that if there are 2 things we need to resolve, Honorable Speaker, is the healthcare system and, of course, our education system. And we are hoping that we can have conversations, Honorable Speaker. Part of the problem, and I want Kenyans to understand this, part of the problems is the shadiness of this business, Honorable Speaker, the lack of transparency. Why do we have, for instance, to hear from hospitals that there is a deduction on hospital reimbursements of 2% that nobody knows what it is for? It is forcing medical facilities to go to court to be told what this deduction is for. And there is a lot of mystery surrounding some of these operatives within the SHA network or the SHA ecosystem. And Honorable Speaker, which is the proposition we are giving Kenyans, is that without us falling in place in terms of the values of our constitution, these problems are going to recur. We need transparency in the administration of the SHA system. And if we do not have that transparency, Honorable Speaker, these stories will continue to appear in our newspapers. With those many remarks, I thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Cherargei.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Sorry for this opportunity. I want to comment on 2 statements by the Senator of Embu and nominated Senator from Kwale. One is that we are having crisis, Madam Speaker. I want to call upon you, Madam Speaker, as the chair of this session, understanding number 1, to order by next week, Tuesday, that the Health Committee should brief the country. Madam Speaker, we are facing crisis. Kapsabet County Referral Hospital, as we talk today, is closed. Madam Speaker, I believe the police station, the hospital, and any other, Madam Speaker, should not be closed for whatever reason. Madam Speaker, we are facing a crisis, and I expected the Committee of Health to brief the House. It has been happening for the last few days, Madam Speaker. And the people who suffer the most are the people who we represent, Madam Speaker. In the history of County of Nandi, this is the first time that Kapsabet County Referral Hospital is being closed. A number of health facilities in Nandi County have been closed because of the CBA disagreement between the county government, the governor, and the health nurses in terms of their promotion, work environment, lack of medical access, Madam Speaker, and many other issues. And I don't know, Madam Speaker, because maybe my colleagues, the stories in their counties are totally different. But what we are seeing, Madam Speaker, is that this CBA we must negotiate so that we can agree as a
Senators,
country,
can you consult in law
Madam Speaker.
Just hold on a little, Senator Cherargei. Honorable Senators, please consult in low tone so that the speaking senator can be heard.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think this is a very serious crisis, that the issue of CBA and health workers, we must look at it. The Kenya National Union of Nurses, Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, and other health practitioners, we are suffering. Colleagues and Madam Speaker, you must come out strongly. Just the way we are talking about medical cover for teachers, I want to appeal that this matter must be resolved so that our teachers can access the medical cover. Finally, on the insecurity in Isiolo, Madam Speaker, I'm surprised the chairperson of national security is also complaining like all of us. And she was with the Minister of Health a few minutes ago. But you know, the Minister of Interior is busy doing kingpin politics. He is moving around Kalenjin counties, Madam Speaker, and therefore he will never have time to come to Isiolo. Madam Speaker, he has been attacking the senator of Wazingishu, the senator of Kericho. Madam Speaker, therefore I don't think he will have time to come to Isiolo. Senator Dulo, we leave you with God and the Holy Spirit, Madam Speaker, because some of us know what he wants to achieve. While we are assisting the president to fix many issues, he is fixing the issues of kingship politics and 2032 succession politics. Madam Speaker, with those many remarks, I beg to yield the mic back.
Senator Beatrice Ogola.
Madam Speaker, I rise to comment on the two statements by the Senator of Embu, Senator Mundigi. The first one that touches my heart, Madam Speaker, is about a collapsed bridge at the Ndatu village. Madam Speaker, all Kenyans deserve some services. Madam Speaker, these bridges, this is a problem that is akin to a problem we have in North Kabwoch ward of Ndewa constituency, Madam Speaker, in a village called Wagasi. Madam Speaker, there's a very, very big problem in that village because along the river Riana, which will soon be full when the rains begin, Madam Speaker, and we have two villages there called Orembe village and Maram village. Madam Speaker, pupils and students in that village will not go to school the moment that river gets filled up. Madam Speaker, if you see how pathetic the situation is, Madam Speaker, just recently when I was in the village, we had even to contribute with the villagers, Madam Speaker, to make a makeshift bridge that would allow these pupils, the women that walk across that river, and Madam Speaker, that river is also crocodile infected. And so I support this statement, and I want to say that our people need the services from the roads department, whether it's from the county governments or from the national government. Our people need to have permanent bridges that will help them move from one village to the other. Secondly, Madam Speaker, I want to comment on the statement on the medical insurance of teachers. And I want to thank you, Senator Mundigi, that you continuously talk about the plight of teachers. Me being a teacher, Madam Speaker, I know the work that teachers do in this republic. And so, Madam Speaker, the issue of the medical cover of teachers need to be looked into. Madam Speaker, just the few times I've visited a number of teachers in hospital, there was a very bad case of a teacher who had to wait for clearance from the insurance, from the insurer, in order to begin treatment. And so, Madam Speaker, because of the nature of work teachers do, and other public officers, the medical cover of teachers must be looked into, and I congratulate you, my brother, Senator Mundigi, for bringing these issues to Parliament. I support.
Senator Okenyuri.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I want to support the statement by Embu Senator Mundigi. And the Senator has been consistent in supporting issues that affect the people in this House, Madam Speaker. And I also wish to comment that the matter on the medical cover for teachers has kept recurring. And some time back, I saw pronouncements by both the Ministry of Health saying that they are going to actually address this matter with the various teachers' unions that met in that meeting. I actually do not understand why this keeps coming up, that we have to raise it through a statement, Madam Speaker, whereas the health care of teachers is a matter that should be given priority, Madam Speaker, and it's very sad that the teachers have to use their own money in accessing health care, whereas they are helping our young children who are studying in schools. Madam Speaker, teachers suffer both in the healthcare sector, and at the same time, even when they go to mark examinations, they're not able to be paid their dues, Madam Speaker. So challenges of teachers cut across in every sector. So I wish that this committee is going to find a lasting solution to this matter, so that the matter does not keep recurring in form of statements, Madam Speaker. Thank you.
Honorable Senators, the 15 minutes that were allocated to this session are over, and I would want us to move to the next order, please. So allow that to happen. Next order.
Order number 8, motion, the constitution of select committees of the Senate.
Who's the mover of this? Majority Leader?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Ideally, this is a motion of the minority side, but since my counterpart is not in the House, I can offer to assist him. But I'm wondering why Senator Wambua is not rising to do this, and he's a substantive deputy. No, I was just called, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, I was told the Senate Majority Leader. That's why I responded. Ideally, this is Senator Wambua's work that I'm doing, Madam Speaker.
Proceed, Senator Majority. That is fine.
Okay, Senator Wambua, you've heard, Madam Speaker, that notwithstanding, I rise to move the following motion, which is the reconstitution of select committees of the Senate. That notwithstanding the resolution of the Senate made on 12 February 2025, 2nd December 2025, and 17 June 2026, on the approval of senators to serve in the various select committees of the Senate, A, pursuant to Standing Order 197, 199, 228, and the fourth schedule to the standing orders, the Senate approves the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the standing committees of the Senate as follows. 1, Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries, Senator Edwin Sifuna to replace Senator Beatrice Ogola. Standing Committee on Energy, Senator Beatrice Ogola to replace Senator Moses Kajwang. Standing Committee on Health, Senator Shakila Abdallah to replace Senator Joseph Giduku. Standing Committee on Information, Communication and Technology, Senator Moses Kajwang and Senator Beatrice Ogola to replace Senators Shakila Abdallah and Senator Hezena Lemaletian. Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration, Senator Godfrey Osotsi to replace Senator Beth Siengo. Standing Committee on Roads, Transportation and Housing, Senator Amida Kibwana to replace Senator Crystal Asige. Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism, Senator Enoch Wambua to replace Senator Hamida Ali Kibwana, pursuant to Standing Order 193, 194, 197, and 199. The Senate approves the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in the select committees of the Senate as follows. 1, County Public Accounts Committee, Senator Joseph Kiduku and Senator Justice Stewart Mazayo to replace Senator Jones Mwaruma and Senator Edwin Sifuna. County Public Investments Committee and Special Funds Committee, Senator Jones Mwaruma and Senator Hezena Lemaletian to replace Senator Eddie Okech and Senator Godfrey Osotsi. Mr. Speaker, this is, my apologies, Madam Speaker, this is a routine reorganization of the committee. Ideally, this is a matter that should have been handled by my colleague, my counterpart, the leader of the minority. But he's not in the House this afternoon, Mr. Speaker. And therefore, I'll be transacting this on his behalf, because I can see he has made quite a raft of changes. And I want to believe, as leader of the minority side, this is done, Mr. Speaker, to infuse new energy into certain committees, move certain competencies into different places, Mr. Speaker, as expected, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, I had requested that there should be a detector at the door for colorless liquid, Madam Speaker, and I think increasingly there is a need for the same. This matter, Madam Speaker, I have seen also certain reports. For example, I saw, I don't know if it was fake news or genuine news, and I haven't had the opportunity to ask my colleague, Senator Crystal, whether it is true. I saw a caption somewhere saying that she had been removed for a committee for proposing something. I'd wish to believe that that is fake news. I don't think she said that, Madam Speaker, but the world is such as it is, because I doubt if a member can be removed from a committee for proposing something, because in any case, Madam Speaker, to propose any legislation, one, you don't have to be a member of any committee. You can propose legislation on any matter. And second, and most importantly, to progress a particular legislation, you need the support of nearly more than half the delegations of the House, Madam Speaker. So it's not a simple matter as just serving in a particular committee. No. It's not to you, Senator Crystal. It is a comment.
Senator, you're not being addressed. I think that's not directed at you at all. Well, there'll be opportunity to speak,
I'm sure.
and I'll give Senator Christola an opportunity to have a...
That will be better. Then she can clarify whether she said that or it's just the usual fake news that we see online about this House on many other matters. Therefore, Madam Speaker, I wouldn't wish to be long at this. I beg to move and request the Deputy Minority Whip, the Senator for Migori, Senator Eddie Okech, to second. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Madam Speaker, I wish to second this motion right from the onset. I think it is quite self-explanatory, in the sense that moving of some of these committees is not only about making some committees effective, as majority leader has indicated. It's also to allow some members also have some experiences in some committees, because I do believe that all members in this House are endowed with the talent to make sure that they can contribute to all committees. Of course, there are some members who are more experts than others in some committees, but as members, we can speak to a variety of issues in the committees that we are put. And I want to appreciate members for having contributed heavily and immensely in the committees that they have been able to serve in this House since they came to this House. But I think that there are some committees that will be important for some members also to be able to actually have just experience on a variety of issues. Because in some committees, to be honest, there are issues that you deal with that affect a number of counties, Madam Speaker, in a certain way that just hits differently. So I want to give an example, Madam Speaker, in the context of what majority has talked about, that the members of the public might feel like maybe there's a purge on certain individuals for action or position on some issues. Actually, it isn't. For instance, Madam Speaker, you know very well that in this House, I've had the pleasure, and I say this with a lot of humility, to serve as the chair of Roads and Transport. And I've also had the pleasure to serve as the vice chair of CPIC. And Madam Speaker, these changes basically have removed me from those two positions. Somebody might argue that, oh, now you are the deputy minority leader, Madam. The deputy minority whip. But Madam Speaker, you know that my vice chair at the Committee of Roads and Transport is equally a deputy minority whip, who you would expect that should not be holding that position and then also becomes a vice chair or a chair of a committee. But you see, I have been stripped of all those positions, yet he has remained. So if I wanted to cry, I would cry that, that why am I being removed from the position of chairing transport, or the position of vice chairing of CPIC. But I'm not complaining, because I do understand that I've been removed from CPIC because other members ought to actually be able to have the best experience that I've had there. And I've been removed as a chair of Roads and Transport because other members need to also, experience the same kind of, work and experience that I've had in this opportunity. And somewhere like CPIC, I would have wished that as many members experience CPIC as much as possible, which is why I've actually happily left that committee, because that committee is where I've had a lot of experience in terms of dealing with hospitals in all the counties. I've also had the experience of dealing with a number of municipalities. I know we will be voting at some point on the issue of thicker municipalities and the request to make it a city. The bird's eye view position on these matters are canvassed in CPIC, Madam Speaker. I also know that we have got some serious issues on water resources in our counties. especially how the WSPs function in our counties. I think that I've had a mine of information together with my chair, who I've really respected working with and appreciated working with, Senator Osotsi, who was the chair of CPIC, and I was his vice chair. Both of us, the country should know that we have both been removed, not just from the committees, but also from the positions, Madam Speaker. So it's very important that, Madam Speaker, this shift.
Senator Eddy, do you want to be informed by Senator Osotsi?
Madam Speaker, I've had a lot of information by Senator Osotsi when you are serving.
Just say no, yes.
So I think he will inform me better when he's contributing. So for now, Madam Speaker, I would just want to go ahead and second the motion. So, Madam Speaker, I think that I would want positive energy to be in the House, that these changes are not in any way to punish or to demean or are malicious to any member. I think they are healthy changes that are there to make sure that all members get experience as a cross-board and contribute effectively. In any case, also, Madam Speaker, we are experiencing a time that we are heading towards an elective cycle, and it is important that we balance these committees so that some members who might be going to experience a time that they want to go and campaign and might not be available to give quorum. Some members can also be more available. So we balance these things, looking at a number of things from the minority side. And I want to wish members who have been given the different committees the courage to actually be available to give quorum to these committees and canvass across a number of issues and make sure that the agenda that is remaining in those committees are done before people perhaps go to campaigns next year. Therefore, I want to second and support, and hopefully this will be able to contribute to the best conduct and the best churning out of the business of the House through these committees. I second, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Senators, I propose the question that notwithstanding the resolutions of the Senate made on 12th February 2025, 2nd December 2025, and 17th June 2026 on the approval of senators to serve in various select committees of the Senate, A, pursuant to Standing Order 197, 199, 228, and the fourth schedule to the standing orders, the Senate approves the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in standing committees of the Senate as follows. 1. Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries, Senator Edwin Sifuna, CBS, MP, to replace Senator Beatrice Ogola, MP. 2. Standing Committee on Energy, Senator Beatrice Ogola, MP, to replace Senator Moses Kajwang, CBS, MP. 3. Standing Committee on Health, Senator Shakila Abdallah Mohammed, MP, to replace Senator Joseph Kithuku, MP. 4. Standing Committee on Information, Communication and Technology, Senator Moses Kajwang, CBS, MP, and Senator Beatrice Ogola, MP, to replace Senator Shakila Abdallah Mohammed, MP, and Senator Hezena Lemalatian, MP. 5. Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equality, Equal Opportunity, and Regional Integration, Senator Godfrey Osotsi, CBS, MP, to replace Senator Beth Siengo, MP. 6. Standing Committee on Roads, Transport and Housing, Senator Hamida Kibwana, MP, to replace Senator Crystal Asige, MP. 7. Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism, Senator Enoch Wambua, CBS, MP, to replace Senator Hamida Ali Kibwana, MP. B. Pursuant to Standing Orders 193, 194, 197, and 199, the Senate approves the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in select committees of the Senate as follows. 1. County Public Accounts Committee, Senator Joseph Kithuku, MP, and Senator Justice Retired Stuart Mazayo, EGH, MP, to replace Senator Johannes Mwaruma, MP, and Senator Edwin Sifuna, CBS MP. 2. County Public Investment and Special Funds Committee. Senator Jones Mwaruma, MP, and Senator Hezena Lemeletian, MP, to replace Senator Eddie Okech, MP, and Senator Godfrey Osoti, CBS MP. I will now call upon, I'm proposing to call upon maybe 3 on either side to... I have made the decision that I will give opportunity for contributions to a few people on either side. Senator Crystal Asige, I'll begin with you.
Mine was a clarification, Chair.
So you don't need to. So
It's a clarification. Point of clarification.
That's all right. Oh, so now who is going to clarify?
No, it's okay. It's passed.
It's passed. Okay, that's fine. Who is there? Oh, okay. I see Senator Osoti.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Just before, I think not more than 3 minutes for each contributor, please.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I've listened to the contribution while moving the motion by the majority leader and seconded by the minority whip. And I want to say that effectively, those changes remove me as the chair of CPIC. I want to thank the House for having given me the opportunity to serve as the chair of CPIC for 4 years. Indeed, this was a new committee in this session of Senate, and we have made a tremendous achievement in terms of dealing with the public entities in the county and public finances. But besides that, Madam Speaker, I know that changes to the committee is a normal thing, but sometimes there is some machinations which are done. I know what was done to get me out is political persecution. I know what happened, and I would have wished Honorable Ledama and Honorable Matsayo were here today, because I know what they did behind the scene to even instigate a motion of no confidence in me and basically create a wedge between me and my members. People we have worked together very well for 4 years. But I would say this is normal. Many other people in the past Senate have gone through this. I remember Senator Wetangula went through this. I remember Irungu Kangata went through this. I remember Susan Kihika went through this, and many others. It will be well. I am being persecuted for supporting Linda Mwananchi and supporting Edwin Sifuna. It will be well, and will bounce back in a big way. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Morango.
Asante sana Mr. Speaker. Kwanza Mr. Speaker, nitaongea kwa falsafa. Kwa hivyo sitakuwa nikiongea kuhusu mtu yote, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, ukweli usema kwamba senete yote ambaye ako katika njumba la seneti ako na uwezo wa kuketi na kujadili maneno katika kamati yoyote. Lakini kama vile miti katika msitu, watu wote watoshani, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, katika kamati ya Wasimbu, ukijaribu kunielezea kwamba umemtoa Senator Sifuna kwa sababu hana uwezo, mimi naona ni kama katika vita unauza bunduki, unanunua fimbo na unaendelea kusema ya kwamba hii vita inahitaji fimbo. Ndio uzuri katika kupigana, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, wenye matege huwa anasema bora mwendo, usiangalie matege. Na tunajua fika ya kwamba uwezo wa wenye wametolewa kwenye kamati hawana, kwa sababu ni jambo limefanyika. Sana kwa muda tumekuwa tukinyamaza katika bunge la Seneti. Tunasema ya kwamba heli tuwe niwe mfalme wa kimya changu kuliko niwe mtumwa wa maneno yangu. Na kwa sababu imefika leo, nataka niwe mtumwa wa maneno yangu, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, wale ambao wanatolewa kwenye kamati kwa sababu ya kisiasa huwa hawana uwezo. Na unajua mtu amekosa mate ya kumeza, hata ya kutema hawezi pata. Kwa hivyo watakuja wakae waone mambo ikiendelea. Lakini tukitaka kamati zetu ziendelee kwa njia inayofaa, tuangalie uwezo wa kila mtu kabla hatujamtoa, ili tuweze kuendeleza kamati zenu ipasavyo. Kwa sababu tukitumia kila siku kwa sababu ya kisiasa, hivyo ndo tunaendelea kuwa kamati zetu, Mr. Speaker. Na nataka niseme hivi, unajua Mr. Speaker, nataka ulinzi. Unajua kiongozi walio wengi hapa naona ananifokea. Nataka niseme ya kwamba tunajua hakuna kitu tunabadilisha hapa. Na sisi kama sisi ambao tulianzia, tushaamua tena hatutahangaika sana na rangi ya chai. Utamu wa chai ni sukari, tutaitafuta mahali pengine. Mr. Speaker, na wewe
What's your point of order? Proceed, Senator Morango. I hope you... Senator Morango, please proceed.
Lakini Mr. Speaker, unajua kuna watu Mr. Speaker, ningetaka niseme ya kwamba kuna wale ambao wametolewa.
Please give him 30 more seconds. Yes, I can see. Proceed. Clerks, please give him 30 more seconds to...
Asante sana Mr. Speaker. Hiyo ni kawaida bwana. Unajua wakati mwingine kuna wengine ukiongea sana akili upwelepweta, na ndio unaona Mr. Speaker kuna wengine wanapiga makelele nikiongea. Nilikuwa nikimaliza nikisema kwamba wale waliotolewa kwa kamati kwa sababu ya kisiasa, ni vizuri mjue fika ya kwamba hata seremala huwa anagonga msumari uliowima. Yenye imepinda ndio huwa inaachwa. Kwa hivyo kama seremala anatengeneza samani, msumari uliowima ndio ugongwa na nyundo. Ile iliyo kombo inabakishwa pale pale. Na kwa hivyo katika kamati zetu kuna misumari mingi ambayo iliyo kombo imebakishwa. Lakini iliyo wima kama Sifuna, kama Otosi ndio inagongwa, Mr. Speaker. Na iko wazi, Mr. Speaker. Lakini Mr. Speaker, namalizia kwa kusema ya kwamba tukitaka kwenda sambamba, tuache kutoa watu kwa kamati kwa sababu ya kisiasa, tuangalie kila mtu uwezo wake, Mr. Speaker. Asante Mr. Speaker.
Senator Khalwale.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we should ask ourselves whether we are simpletons or we are indeed distinguished senators. Mr. Speaker, to allow the leadership of this House to weaponize constitutional positions in Parliament, we are failing. It's okay if a political party or a coalition removes a whip or a deputy whip or whatever position of leadership, because that's a decision of a party. But on sitting on committees and doing parliamentary work, that we should not accept. Senator Osothi, Senator Sifuna, let me tell you, they are making it easy for you to scale up in your politics. Even Martin Shikuku, for his work in this parliament, Martin Shikuku was detained without trial, and when he came back, he was bigger. Even Masinde Muliro, when he was minister and resigned because he refused to vote for a motion which wanted to find that J.M. Kariuki was not murdered, Masinde Muliro came back bigger. Mheshimiwa Soti, even in your own backyard, in Vihiga, Peter Kibisu, seated in this chamber, he voted against government as an assistant minister, and he became a greater politician. I therefore want to ask the leadership of this country, don't tamper with Parliament. If you think Parliament is not important, Mr. President, remember where you found yourself when this Parliament came under attack from the youth. It is very dangerous. Mr. President, remember 2007, how we stabilized the country out of post-election violence, because when we then took oath...
Senator Halwale, there is a point of order from Senator Nyamu. What's your point of order? Give her the mic.
Madam Speaker.
No, let her explain herself, please. Order, please.
Crystal Asige, can you...
Senator Nyamu, can you just proceed?
Can you please protect me from Senator Crystal Asige, Madam Speaker?
Senator Asige and Senator Nyamu, point of order. The point of order by Nyamu has not even begun. Can you begin?
Madam Speaker, is Senator for Kakamega, Senator Boni Halwale, in order to stand before this House and address the President, who is not part of this House, who has nothing to do with the changes in committees, and who may not even be aware of what we are debating here today? Is he in order?
Senator Halwale, unless you have evidence that you can table that the President has something to do with the changes, please do not make reference to the President. Senator Halwale, proceed.
Mr. Speaker, however
Madam
Speaker, however much Senator Karen Nyamu attempts to draw attention of the people of Nairobi to herself by attempting to respond to me, the people of Nairobi know that even if she's given 100 years, she would not be able to rise to the occasion to match the contribution that we have made on the political landscape of this country, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I was saying, this is a moment to reflect. It's a moment to reflect, Mr. Speaker.
Senator...
Can I be protected?
Senator Nyamu, what's your point of order?
Madam Speaker has ruled. Madam Speaker has given me the mic. Madam Speaker, Boni Halwale is using this House to insult and intimidate women. And I want to know, and it is such a shame, he did that to Senator Tabitha another time. Today it is me. Address yourself to the issue that I have raised. Leave me alone with my people of Nairobi. They are not a subject.
Okay, Senator Nyamu, I wish you would have raised that as a proper standing order, asking him to withdraw what he said. Senator Halwale. Senator Nyamu, please sit down. Senator Halwale, kindly desist from that line of argument that casts aspersion on the capability of any senator in here as you proceed. Thanks.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, much respect to your guidance and much persuasion on the part of Karen Nyamu that I can't harm her in no way. But she cannot interrupt my flow of thought and expect to get away with it. just like that. Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, I was saying that in 2007, when fighting was on, Speaker Marende allowed us to take oath as members of parliament. And at around 11:45, after we had started taking oath, fighting went down because parliament is important.
30 seconds to finalize your point. 30 seconds, please.
Madam Speaker, let parliament function. Let committees work. Let the best amongst us chair committees. If the problem of Edwin is about leadership and that he's supporting the opposition, if that is a crime, why is Wambua still in position and is also supporting the opposition? It doesn't make sense. You think you can intimidate some people? Mr. Speaker.
Order, senators. Can we listen to one person at a time? You know.
Mr. Speaker, I want to say it. Mr. Speaker, I want to say it that this mongrel called the broad-based government is
Senator
outside.
Methu and Senator Keroche. Senator Keroche, would you kindly take your seat, please? Senator. Senator Mogeni.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, sorry, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker. Yeah, in principle, Madam Speaker, no senator should rise on his feet to oppose the shifting of members from one committee to the other. But, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, I want to make an observation that our Constitution, in Article 124, decreed that Parliament will pass standing orders for the orderly discharge of the business of the House. Madam Speaker, pursuant to that power donated to Parliament by Constitution, we have enacted Standing Order 197. And Madam Speaker, let's be candid. Let's be candid. For the future generation, we are not opposing anybody who has been shifted from one committee to the other. But for the future, Madam Speaker, that standing order states that our business committee will do those changes after consulting the political parties. And consultation of political parties means that you consult the entire membership of that side. So, Madam Speaker, as we approve this motion, let us learn the motion. Let us learn, Madam Speaker, from the text that is in the Constitution. What we have been told, yes, Madam
Honorable
Speaker,
Senators.
Madam Speaker.
Honorable ML, you know you are a leader in this
My time is running, Madam Speaker.
You will give Senator Mogeni 1 more minute,
yes,
please.
You know, Madam Speaker, these citations that have been made to us by Senator Galwani informed the drafting of our Constitution, 2010 Constitution. If you read, no, Senator Cheruiyot, I'm on the floor. I refer you to Article 91 of the Constitution that guides how political parties should behave. If you read Article 91, you have the Constitution there, open it and read it. Madam Speaker, the Constitution says that political parties, Article 91F, 1F, political parties must respect human rights and fundamental freedoms. It's there in the Constitution. Madam Speaker, there should not be any punitive actions from a political party because anybody is trying to exercise his fundamental freedom. You know Senator Cheruiyot, when you were here in the last parliament, you are subjected to the same mistreatment. And we should draw a line. We must set standards
Senator
for
Commissioner
ourselves.
Korir.
We should set standards. I can go to the answer and see and
Senator
bring out
Commissioner Korir, order.
So, Mr. Speaker, Madam Speaker, we should not. Madam Speaker, we should. Relax. Nominated Senator.
Senator
Relax.
Commissioner Korir, it will be very sad for me to throw you out. Please don't. No, finalize, Senator Mogeni.
Yes. So you know, Madam Speaker, we say these things so that in the next Parliament people can remember that we pointed out. Now, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Senators.
Madam Speaker, I'm not able to be heard, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Cherargei, order. Honorable Korir, Honorable Cherargei, please listen to the chair. I think you're out of order. Let's just hold on. Let's respect the chair. Let's listen. I'm willing to sit and give all of you a chance to speak, if that is what you want. So if you want to speak simultaneously, I will sit until all of you speak. Senator Mundigi, I will throw you out. Don't repeat that. Please don't dare me. Order, senators. Senator Mogeni, you can finalize in your last minute.
Yes, Senator, Madam Speaker, I have never engaged Senator Mundigi. So I will not respond to him because I think you are advised by Majority Leader to respond to a lady who released something on WhatsApp. I'm not that lady, Senator Mundigi. So the point I'm making, no, he's confusing me with that lady. I'm not that lady. So respond to the lady, Senator Mundigi. So, Madam
Senator Mogeni, either you are presenting or you are exchanging without.
So, Madam Speaker, the point I'm making, Madam Speaker.
Senator Mundigi, I'm calling you out of order because you're just shouting. I will not respect that. Don't expect me to respect you when you are not respecting the House. Please, order. Order, Senator Mundigi. Senator Mundigi. Please give me.
Madam Speaker. I don't. You don't need to throw him out. He's my good friend. Allow him to sit. I've not complained on his conduct.
Senator Mundigi, if I hear one more thing from you, I'll actually throw you out. Can you finalize, Senator Mogeni, please? Senator Newton.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also want to say something about this particular motion that has been moved by the Majority Leader on behalf of the Minority Leader. Madam Speaker, members of the public do watch the proceedings of this House. They follow what we do, Madam Speaker. The essence of placing any senator into any committee is to do parliamentary business and not to reward them or punish them because of their political stand. So, Madam Speaker, what has been happening in this House is that none of the objects of placing members to committees has been followed, Madam Speaker. And I say this not to complain about anything, but Madam Speaker, at the beginning of last year, there was a reorganization, in quotes, of the committees in this House, and especially from this side of the majority, Madam Speaker. And Kenyans watched. And Madam Speaker, no one can convince Kenyans that the only people that you needed, Majority Leader here, needed to reorganize were people from a particular region in this country. And as I say that, Madam Speaker, with facts.
Senator Majority Leader, what's your point of order?
Please freeze my time, Madam Speaker.
I want to advise Senator Newton to first be calm about this. because this is about committees. Unfortunately, this is committees on the minority side.
Senator Majority, go
Yes.
to the point of order, please. Yeah.
Madam Speaker, surely I am being harassed by a heckler in the House. You are not protecting me. You are pushing me. Yes, because somebody is heckling at me while I'm trying to make my point.
Senator Majority, you stood on a point of order.
Yes.
Can you prosecute that first, and I will defend you.
But that's what I'm doing, Madam Speaker.
Yes.
That understanding order number 105.
Yeah.
Is it in order for Senator Newton to purport that I'm the one making these changes? These are changes in the minority side. They have nothing to do with the majority side that I lead. I only did the motion because the minority leader is not in the House.
Senator Newton, to the extent that you are attributing these changes to majority leader, you need to withdraw that.
Madam Speaker, I have a lot of respect for the majority leader, and he's a very smart brain. I did not at any time, at any moment in my presentation, say that he is the one that has brought this. I said, and I'm unanswered, that he presented this particular motion on behalf of the minority leader. I said that. But I was referring to what has been there in this particular House, Madam Speaker, and I was very clear. And I was saying that when there was that purge last year, baptized reorganization of committees, Madam Speaker, and because it happened, it is there in the Hansard. Madam Speaker, I was removed as chair of Education Committee. Senator Karungo was removed as chair of Roads. Senator Medu was removed as chair of Lands. Senator Murango was removed as chair of Agriculture, Madam Speaker. All of us come from one region in this country. Madam Speaker, Senator Mandago remained in his Committee of Health. Senator Chesang remained in his Committee of ICT. Senator Murgo remained in his Committee of Labor. The late Senator, let me not mention that our departed colleague. Madam Speaker, do watch. And Madam Speaker, you cannot, the majority leader cannot convince this House that the only people that needed to be reorganized in committees were people from a particular region, Madam Speaker. So we are saying it is a high time we stopped playing politics with the posting of members to committees, Madam Speaker. When you look at what is happening, there is no other reason why Senator Osotsi was removed from that committee. I'm talking about the whole House, from CP committee, Madam Speaker, apart from politics. So we are saying, Kenyans, watch what happened here. And it is actually a shame that we reward people and punish.
Senator Wambua.
Finally, Madam Speaker, the Deputy Minority Leader gets an opportunity to speak.
Senator Newton, can you listen in silence? Yeah.
Madam Speaker, I said, and this was meant for all of us, but specifically for Senator Cheruiyot, that finally the Deputy Minority Leader gets an opportunity to speak on changes on the minority side. Madam Speaker, I will say only two things, and I will sit down. Only two things. One, I want to address this motion and the way it was moved and the way it is being processed. Madam Speaker, I want the majority leader, when he retreats, to ask himself whether what he has done is something that he will be comfortable with after the fact. That is moving committee changes belonging to the minority side when there is a leadership of the minority in the House. That he can reflect on later and deal with it later. Madam Speaker, on the issue of the changes, Madam Speaker, let us commit ourselves as senators, because we still have some time to do work in the Senate before the next election, that the movement of members from one committee to the other must be done always on a need-to-do basis.
Mr. Speaker, we can say what we want to say here, we can argue, we can fight, we can insult each other if we have to, but Madam Speaker, the fact remains that people out there are watching what is happening in the Senate. To assume, Madam Speaker, that we are making changes because we are moving competencies, Madam Speaker, it's okay. We can convince ourselves that that is what we are doing. The public out there, whom we serve, we are not here on our own. We serve the public. The public out there, maybe they have a different story. Madam Speaker, I wish all the members that have been nominated to serve in the different and various committees all the best. And let's apply ourselves into those committees and do our job. But we know that we have a date with destiny very soon. I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Senators, I had said I'll give three to each side. I now would like to call the mover to reply, please.
Madam Speaker, there are too many philosophers in the House this afternoon. They are quoting time, seasons. These are the times and the seasons of politics, Senator Boni Halwale. And I learned them from you. You are one of the people who taught me this work in this House. So you should be proud of the work I am doing. It is not a difficult, it's not an easy job. Senator Wambua, my good friend, you saw very well how much I tried to request that you be allowed to move the motion, because it's a motion of the minority side. But then I was directed by the Speaker. I'm just a humble servant of this House, Senator Wambua. Surely what more was I supposed to do? Madam Speaker, I really want to say, no colleague, Mr. Speaker, no colleague lacks the competence to serve in any committee. I have held that belief. And by the way, this is now the serious me. Forget about what I was saying earlier. I have served in so many committees during my time in this House, and I don't consider any committee to be inferior to another. That's my personal position. At my most serious, Madam Speaker, I have never come to understand this fascination that sometimes members have with certain specific committees, unless for reasons that are beyond my understanding and that of the ordinary people. I believe as a senator, you should be able to serve any committee. In any case, Madam Speaker, I pointed out earlier that if you want, for example, to progress anything, a topic of your passion, a particular thematic area that you feel so strongly about, Madam Speaker, you will still have to convince the entire House, including the committee. So it's not just a matter of that you must be in a particular committee to prosecute certain agendas, Madam Speaker. So I want to request colleagues that let us embrace these changes. They happen every now and then. If for one reason and the other, you must also understand where leadership is coming from on this matter. You have members that you must balance. Everybody feels that they must serve in a particular committee. So when you're given a chance to serve here and there, these things happen. Indeed, Senator Mogeni was being reminded this afternoon. He was trying to be philosophical. But then members reminded him that when Senator Onyonka was removed from PAC, it is him who benefited. Why is he so quick to forget, my dear friends? So colleagues, I really want to request that you have said all you need to say about this matter, but I strongly believe that my colleague on whose behalf I'm doing this assignment, the retired judge, the son of Kilifi, Justice Stewart Matai, is well-meaning to you people, and has done his bit, has proposed the changes to the committee. Therefore, I want to request that we conclude this business and transact the subsequent business. Senator Wambua, my apologies if in any way, I thought I'm helping you, but I can see you don't seem to be appreciating my assistance. But with those very many remarks, Madam Speaker, because this is not something to debate and hog on and off about, I beg to reply. I thank you.
Honorable Speakers, pursuant to Standing Order 84.1, I wish to make the determination that this matter does not affect counties and put the question. Honorable Senators, I put the question that notwithstanding the resolutions of the Senate made on 12th February 2025, 2nd December 2025, 17th June 2026 on the approval of senators to serve in various select committees of the Senate, A, pursuant to Standing Orders 197, 199, 228, and the fourth schedule to the Standing Orders, the Senate approves the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in standing committees of the Senate as follows. 1. Standing Committee on Agriculture, Livestock and Fisheries, Senator Edwin Sifuna, CBS, MP, to replace Senator Beatrice Ogola, MP. 2. Standing Committee on Energy, Senator Beatrice Ogola, MP, to replace Senator Moses Kajwang, CBS, MP. 3. Standing Committee on Health, Senator Shakila Abdallah Mohammed, MP, to replace Senator Joseph Kithuku, MP. 4. Standing Committee on Information, Communication and Technology, Senator Moses Kajwang, CBS, MP, and Senator Beatrice Ogola, MP, to replace Senator Shakila Abdallah Mohammed, MP, and Senator Hezena Lemaletian, MP. 5. Standing Committee on National Cohesion, Equal Opportunity and Regional Integration, Senator Godfrey Osotsi, CBS, MP, to replace Senator Beth Siengo, MP. 6. Standing Committee on Roads, Transport and Housing, Senator Hamida Kibwana, MP, to replace Senator Crystal Asige, MP. 7. Standing Committee on Trade, Industrialization and Tourism, Senator Enoch Wambua, CBS, MP, to replace Senator Hamida Ali Kibwana, MP. B. Pursuant to Standing Orders 193, 194, 197, and 199, the Senate approves the following senators nominated by the Senate Business Committee to serve in select committees of the Senate as follows. 1. County Public Accounts Committee, Senator Joseph Kithuku, MP, and Senator Justice Retired Stewart Mazayo, EGH, MP, to replace Senator Jones Mwaruma, MP, and Senator Edwin Sifuna, CBS, MP. 2. County Public Investments and Special Funds Committee, Senator Jones Mwaruma, MP, and Senator Hezena Lemaletian, MP, to replace Senator A.D. Okech, MP, and Senator Godfrey Osotsi, CBS, MP. Will as many as are of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as are of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The ayes have it. Next order. Honorable Senators, order Senators, Honorable Senators, I am rearranging the order paper to move on to order number 20. Next order.
Order number 20, the Street Naming and Property Addressing System Bill, Senate Bills number 43 of 2024, second reading.
Senator Dulo.
Which number is it? Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I am here to move the bill that reads the Street Naming and Property Addressing System Bill 2024. Madam Speaker, I actually came up with this bill because of many reasons. And if you travel abroad or in other jurisdictions, Madam Speaker.
Senator Dullo, please first move the bill, that the bill be read a second time.
I can't see the whole bill. Okay. Thank you, Madam Speaker. The Street Naming and Property Addressing System Bill, Senate Bill number 43 of 2024, second reading. Madam Speaker, the reason why I came up with this bill is because I have actually visited many jurisdictions where when you reach the airport, somebody will ask you, where are you going to stay? Which street, which hotel, or the number of the hotel, or the house that you will actually go and stay in. And I thought this is equally very important in our country because we have so many challenges, Madam Speaker, and I thought this bill will solve so many problems that we have in our country. And that is the reason why I came up with the bill. Madam Speaker, looking at the bill, the object of the bill, Madam Speaker, is number one, is to improve service delivery. If you look at many of our counties, Madam Speaker, in terms of emergency, whenever there are ambulances, whenever there are actually planning that needs to be done, revenue collection, Madam Speaker, it's normally very hard actually to reach individuals within those estates and also residential places. Madam Speaker, looking at this bill is going to solve all those problems and actually help the counties as far as service delivery is concerned. Madam Speaker, looking at the bill, you will see that the bill actually provides the structure and the procedure for coming up with the street naming and also how the committee is supposed to be formed, Madam Speaker, who are the members of the committee, who is the registrar, where the registrar should be as far as this bill is concerned. Madam Speaker, I will be able to go through the bill actually stage by stage to be able to come to explain why we need this particular bill, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if you look at the Madam Speaker, memorandum of and the object of the bill, it provides the logical, consistent addressing system in a critical component of any county government service delivery system. In particular, it encourages and enables e-commerce, ease identification of streets and public places, improves emergency response services, enhances the management of settlement and development in the areas, and improves revenue collection and addressing system, therefore provides a platform to facilitate other county government functions, such as county planning, the need for a functional addressing system, and a dedicated team to ensure its enforcement and maintenance, therefore cannot be gainsaid. In this regard, the main object of the bill is to provide for procedures and guidelines for
creating a county addressing system, and for this purpose, naming and addressing of streets and public places is in counties. The bill will therefore improve service delivery at the county level and will aid in modernization of the counties, and the bill will also help in preserving the history and heritage of counties and serve as a means of honoring persons who have made significant contribution to the history, culture, image, and development of the country. Madam Speaker, you will see that currently the manner in which actually street naming and honoring of heroes are done is haphazard. There are no procedures followed. But this particular bill provides guidelines on how actually those procedures should be followed. And where they feel that the name is not appropriate, there are procedures that need to be followed to make sure that culture, heritage, and all those standards are actually kept, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, if you look at the bill, the first part is on interpretation. Then if you look at the second part, that is section 3, is the object and the purpose of the bill, or rather of the act once it is signed. Madam Speaker, then we have section 4 that talks about the scope of the act, which will actually apply to any person dealing with matters relating to addressing or custodian of the address data in Kenya. So there is data that is going to be kept as far as that information is concerned, to avoid replication and also duplication of numbers in residential areas, Madam Speaker. There are also guiding principles that are provided for under Section 5. The discharge of the function and act shall be guided by the principle and values set out in Article 10, 31, 43, 60, and 232 of the Constitution, and the guiding principles of the Act shall be inclusivity and participatory governance of the addressing regulatory framework that we need to put in place, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, Part 2 of the bill establishes institutional framework on national addressing system. Madam Speaker, we don't have any policy or legislation currently governing as far as addressing and also street naming is concerned. Article 6 of the same act establishes the National Addressing Council. Madam Speaker, Section 7 provides for the functions of the council that is supposed to be established to carry out this particular responsibility. Then Section 8 of the Act of the bill, Madam Speaker, provides for the conduct of the business and affairs of the council, reports by the councils once they sit and make deliberation. Madam Speaker, Section 11 actually provides where the headquarters of the street naming and addressing is concerned, which is supposed to be in Nairobi. Then Section 12 provides for the qualification for the appointment for a person to be a registrar as far as street naming and addressing is concerned. Madam Speaker, Section 14 also provides on how the registrar should be actually removed from the office. Then the office of the registrar, Section 15, the functions of the registrar. Madam Speaker, Section 18 of the Act also provides how the address is supposed to be allocated by the same committee. Madam Speaker, Part 4 or 5 of the bill establishes the County Addressing System Committee, because this has to be cascaded down to the county level. Madam Speaker, there is establishment of every county, a County Addressing System Committee, where the committee shall consist of the County Executive Committee member responsible for the communication, urban development, roads, and planning, who shall be the chairperson of the committee, then followed by the County Public Service Officer with knowledge in information and communication, and the rest is followed actually, Madam Speaker, in the bill. Then Section 41 of the bill provides for the term of office of a member of the committee. Section 22 of the bill provides for the functions of the committee on how they should operate and the powers they have. 23 provides for the committee, the meeting of the committee, how it should be run. Madam Speaker, then procedures for naming county streets and public places, Section 25, that is part 6 of the bill. Madam Speaker, guidelines for naming the county streets and public places is also provided for under Section 27 of the bill. Madam Speaker, Section 29 of the bill provides for the procedure for renaming a county street or public places. Whenever there is actually a petition against a particular decision that has been made by the committee, there are procedures that needs to be followed as far as renaming of the streets is concerned in our country. Then 30 provides any developer who intends to create a private development shall submit a proposal. So whenever you want to actually submit a private development, you must actually provide a proposal to the committee that needs to look into it and provide proper guidelines on how that procedure should be followed. Part 7 is numbering of streets and properties. All properties to be numbered. So once this bill is ascended to and been put in operation, Madam Speaker, all the properties in the counties should be actually numbered, and that has to be kept by the registrar. Then Section 32 of the Land Registration Unit establishes under Section 6 and Land Registration Act shall advise on registration units to be advised on number 3 of 2012, Madam Speaker. Then Part 8 provides for miscellaneous provision of the Act, which provides for the county addressing plan. Then the titling also has to be aligned actually to the properties that are supposed to be given the numbers as per Section 34 is concerned. Intergovernmental consultation meetings must be held for the purpose of this particular bill, Madam Speaker. Then Section 37, the Cabinet Secretary in consultation with the Council of Governors and the authority shall establish regulation for the purpose of operationalization of this particular bill. Madam Speaker, if you look at the schedule procedures relating to the meeting of the council and the committees is also provided for within the Act as per Section 8 and Section 23 of the bill. I think, Madam Speaker, this is basically a very important bill because it helps in so many ways as far as planning is concerned, as far as service delivery is concerned, revenue collection is concerned, security is concerned, because sometimes you will find that whenever somebody has committed a crime, they disappear and nobody knows their whereabouts. But if we have this bill and residential areas are numbered as far as this bill is concerned, it will help in so many ways in our country to bring sanity to our service delivery and also other procedures are concerned. With those many points, Madam Speaker, I wish to stop here and request Senator Cherargei to second the bill. I thank you.
Senator Cherargei.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think the distinguished senator of Isiolo and ranking member of the Senate. I think she's among the few who have served longest in this Senate. And she's among the only, if I'm right in this session, among the only 3 women who got elected as the senators. And I think that Senator Dulu has proven, and also, as I second, Madam Speaker, Senator Dulu has proven that if you are nominated and you work hard, you can be elected. So it's a challenge to colleagues who want to get elected. You should get some lessons from Senator Dulu, who is the incumbent governor of Isiolo County. Madam Speaker, I think she's even overqualified to be in Senate. Either she becomes a governor or a cabinet secretary. Madam Speaker, the street naming and property addressing system bill is just basically, Madam Speaker, you know this is the only country where you still use language and sign to trace my home, to trace your home, to trace an hospital, to trace a school, to trace a fire engine, to trace a government service, asking around like a gossip. Do you know where so-and-so lives? Do you know where the hospital lives? We have not properly done what we call a national addressing system. What it means, Madam Speaker, and you know you are well-traveled, a number of colleagues have been lucky to travel, and you can appreciate when you are in Europe and America, when you say address this road, number this, you can get that individual person or a facility or an infrastructure. And I know Senator Chesang is also well-traveled, although he mostly goes to Dubai, but he knows also in some of those areas. You know, I think, Madam Speaker, you need in future to also organize Senator Cheburet to also travel. I know the farthest he has gone is Mogotio during court auctioning. So we need to travel so that you can see the address, Madam Speaker, so that when you come to your house, either, you know, you are a lady of many, you are a Western and Western region and Luo Nyanza area, we can come to your house and know that. That is basically what the law is all about. The issue is to increase efficiency, for one, for services, essential services, such as Madam Speaker, my able senior sister has developed. You want to get an ambulance, you want to get a school, you want to get an hospital, Madam Speaker, you want to access essential services, Madam Speaker, it should be accessible. I think that is what this bill is trying to address, so that we can ensure that a national addressing system. I know in some areas in this city, you still have those addresses, especially in upmarket areas like Runda, like Karen, Madam Speaker, like Itusuru, like Igiri. But Madam Speaker, when you go to Muguru kwa Njenga or Muguru kwa Rupen, you must look for the local Mukasa. You must look for the local elder to take you to, if you live in Mukuru kwa Njenga or Kibra, Madam Speaker. And I want to thank the President, because this is the first time a sitting President has hosted village elders in State House. And we must celebrate. I think President William Ruto, Madam Speaker, is showing that everybody matters. Even the local Kokwet elder, which most of us assume. They are the ones who ensure there is unity. They are the ones who are, they are like Google of the village, of that village. Because if you want to know, Madam Speaker, somebody's house, if you ask a Mukasa, a Kokwet elder, Madam Speaker, they can tell you, and that is what the President was telling the Kokwet elders. It's part of national addressing system, Madam Speaker. If you want to know what is happening, you just ask your village elder. He or she, and I'm happy it's no longer men only, it's also she, Madam Speaker. You can ask, they will be able to tell you who is giving birth next week, whose cows has been stolen, whose cows has given birth, who has slept with who in the village, who has marital problems, whose husband has run away or has never appeared since he came to Nairobi, back to the village. They are what we call data. They are the village Google map. And I want to thank the President, Madam Speaker, because those are people we will need to work with as we do national addressing system, Madam Speaker. And I want to thank that even they have been given stipend, Madam Speaker. The village elders, we only used to pay from assistant chief, and even village administrators were paid by county. But the honor that the President gave those village elders, they will never forget. I think some of them, this is the first time they are stepping into Nairobi. But not only Nairobi, they are stepping to the most famous address in the city. and that is the State House address, Madam Speaker, which a number of Kenyans have never had a privilege to visit in the previous regimes, Madam Speaker. And I know going into the future, Madam Speaker, so this issue of national addressing system, we must ensure that we focus on it, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, you have had the Vision 2060 by His Excellency the President. You have had even your party leader, Dr. Oburu Odinga, and the late, may his soul rest in peace, Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, the enigma of Kenyan politics, had the vision of 2060. One of the ways, Madam Speaker, is to have national addressing system which creates efficiency in terms of essential services and where we live. Not only basic, but even taxes and many other issues. And even many people, Madam Speaker, have been asking, where does President Ruto's Vision 2060 got from? He got it from Baba Raila Amolo Odinga, who had the vision, Madam Speaker, of a better Kenya. And we are saying we are going to Singapore via Canaan. The only way to reach Singapore via Canaan is not to ask where your address is, or to ask people in the village, I want to go to a certain hospital, I want to go to a certain ambulance center, I want to go to a certain school. You just use what we call a data that is provided. That is the first world we are talking about. That is the Vision 2060 that the President is talking about. And I want to thank Baba Raila Odinga and President William Ruto for this vision, that we now need to have a conversation as a country on the future of this country. But Madam Speaker, when you have spineless and rudderless and agendaless, planless opposition in this country, who only think about the election instead of thinking about the future generation, the prosperity of this country, Madam Speaker, and therefore, what Senator Dulo is trying to ensure is efficiency in terms of service delivery, Madam Speaker. There is also the postal address. I remember, I don't know whether the America, Madam Speaker, they are voting by mail. The issue of tax, revenue collection, it will assist. In fact, the land rates and land rate, all counties should ensure, Madam Speaker, that they support these, all counties, because it will allow the efficiency of revenue, will allow, Madam Speaker, and I want to say we need counties to function. And I'm happy Senator Dulo has ensured that the role of county government under Article 96, our role is to protect the interest of the counties and to oversight as per Article 96. Madam Speaker, even our counties, I know Senator Kamar also comes from both counties, Elgeyo Marakwet and Uasin Gishu. And he knows the other day, somewhere in Elgeyo Marakwet, there are fireworks where a deputy governor, who is a woman, I think Professor Cheserek, was being undermined and curtailed by the governor. But I'm happy that woman told off the governor. The deputy governor told off the governor. Because we cannot be talking about the efficiency of counties and revenue collection, yet people are being undermined. And therefore, Madam Speaker, the issue of revenue collection, we must ensure counties also. Madam Speaker, I have sat in Public Accounts Committee for some time, and I know you sit in devolution and intergovernmental. One of the biggest challenges, and you and me agree, is the missed target of own source revenue by most of the counties, by a huge margin of 60%. We are now georeferencing. We now have digital maps. We want to georeference. We want to do national addressing system to allow efficiency of collection of revenue, Madam Speaker. And that is why even committees, the Public Accounts Committee, there is Public Investment Committee. I can see the newest Deputy Minority Whip trying to give notes to the immediate Vice Chair of PAC on how to collect what we call non-revenue water, where most municipalities and water companies are struggling. This one will come in handy because we will know where you are. It is easy to build. And by the way, Madam Speaker, I want to encourage colleagues. It is safer to participate in all committees. Even if there was a committee of catering, don't worry, just serve there. Serve in finance, serve in public accounts, serve in energy. Madam Speaker, we should learn to appreciate that the formation of committees, and every senator in this room, including you, Madam Speaker, has a right to serve in any committees, has a right to chair in any committees. Even personally, Madam Speaker, in 2018, I was de-whipped by Jubilee. I was the chairperson of Justice, Legal Affairs and Human Rights. Madam Speaker, I've been the backbencher since then, but I don't find anything out of ordinary, because the interest I represent is on behalf of the great people of Nandi, Madam Speaker, where people brought you. You represent special interest in this country alongside Senator Karen and a number of colleagues, Senator Kamar, who was our deputy speaker. But can you imagine the way Senator Kamari is so humble? You cannot know she's a former Minister of Education. She's a former Eldoret South Member of Parliament, one of the few women from Kenyan community. She was our Deputy Speaker of the Senate, like you, Madam Speaker, presiding over the sittings. It doesn't hurt, Madam Speaker. Just serve where you are given. Even if there was a committee of catering, just serve there. You learn something, Madam Speaker. And therefore, I think we need to ensure our committees function properly. Another one, Madam Speaker, because I can see my time is spent, is establishment of National Addressing Council, which is very critical in clause number 8. Madam Speaker, let me just quickly, because I have the final and third point, is the functions of the registrar, who will ensure, manage and maintain a custodian of National Addressing System. That is clause number 15, Madam Speaker, will ensure that if there are issues around the data, the maintenance and national. Madam Speaker, let me go quickly to the clause 16 and 16, Madam Speaker. I'm happy the owner of the bill, the distinguished Senator of Isiolo, has said that they must protect data. Madam Speaker, you are aware we have passed what we call Data Protection Act in this House. Also, it's one of the litigated, it's one of the bills or acts of parliament that we have passed, Madam Speaker, that will always face legal hurdles. Madam Speaker, the issue of data protection, we must ensure that we give in and ensure that we protect data. We are saying that data given to Kenyans. Madam Speaker, Senator Eddie, I think, is served under PIC. You realize most of the hospitals in this republic, Madam Speaker, anybody can access your data. Yet these are private and important issues about people's health. I think when you read OAG reports, Madam Speaker, you will notice most of our data is exposed, especially by public hospitals. And I hope Senator Eddie and the other committee of PIC, although I know he's still not there, can provide advice on how we can do data protection, Madam Speaker. And we become responsible on how we share data, Madam Speaker, so that we move forward as a country. I think the establishment of county committees, Madam Speaker, in short, so that I can listen to colleagues also. This is one of the brilliant bills. This is the bill that will take us to Singapore via Canaan. And I want to thank the distinguished senator. And I'm remembering she was also our deputy, I think, majority whip, majority leader in the last session for coming up with such a bill. This is the bill, this is the conversation we have of Vision 2060 that the president is proposing. Madam Speaker, the street naming, we need efficiency, but also we need to call upon counties, including Nairobi, Madam Speaker, to have proper planning. Let us have street planning. Let us have organized roads. Let us ensure our roads are drainage. I'm surprised, Madam Speaker, that I'm told somebody has gone to court to block pedestrian walkways in Nairobi. You know, it shocks me. There are no pedestrian walkways in Nairobi and other major cities in this country. And therefore, Madam Speaker, that's why you and me appreciate that that is why most of the pedestrians are being knocked down here and there, because we need to ensure the pedestrian walkways. We need to plan our cities better, Madam Speaker. I think when you travel to other countries, you can see, especially Europe and America, that they have planned better. And I think it is the challenge that in this, the street naming and property addressing, and I want to appeal to Kenyans, Madam Speaker, we want also to ensure we prevent any other issues that individuals, Madam Speaker, might buy property and hide. It will even assist investigative agencies. Because if you suspect property XY belongs to Senator Cherargei, it is easy, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, with those many remarks, and I can see my time is up, Madam Speaker, allow me to second and ask the members of the Senate to also support so that we can fast track and transmit it to the National Assembly, and hopefully the President can assent to it, and then we can move on as a country. I thank you, Madam Speaker, and I yield back the mic.
Honorable Senators, I propose the question that the street naming and property addressing system bill, Senate Bills number 43 of 2024, be now read a second time. Senator Professor Kamara.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the opportunity that you have given me to support this very progressive bill by the Senator of Isiolo, Senator Fatuma Dulo. Madam Speaker, I rise to support this because I think we have a lot of challenges in this country. If you drive across this country at night, even shopping centers have not been labeled. So if you are lost, you give asking at every shopping center, you see somebody passing by, please, where am I? You give asking names because you are not able to tell. It's not all of us who have Google Maps. It's not all of us who are able to actually know directions, especially when you go to the interior. So this is just the beginning. I take this bill to be the beginning of organizing ourselves as a country. Organizing ourselves when it comes to the naming of our streets. And I like the objects of this bill, particularly the fact that we need to address, we need to appreciate the people who have worked in our counties. We know that we are supposed to have a building where we have the names of eminent people who have been in our counties, and that bill has not arrived from the National Assembly. It's been there for a long time, and we hope this one will not be wasted also. But when you look at the object, it's very clear that we need to create and manage a national address system, so that if an ambulance goes to pick a patient, they know where they're going. And they can now Google the right address. But currently, you talk of the street, Kenyatta Street in Eldoret, and you are asking somebody, do I start from the northern side of the street or the lower side of the street when you are looking for a building? So this is a very progressive bill. To be able to also give address of the buildings that we have. You talk of Kenyatta Avenue here. You ask for a saloon and you are told it's in Kenyatta Avenue. You have to ask more questions. Where in Kenyatta Avenue? Because there is no address that can tell you that you go to number 1 Kenyatta Avenue or you go to number 20 Kenyatta Avenue. This is going to simplify a lot of things. Madam Speaker, I went to school in the University of Toronto. Toronto is an amazing city which has streets that are parallel and diagonal. You have east-west streets, and they start from only one point. From that point, you can read east to the end, from number 1 to wherever it is. You can go, in fact, up to 20 kilometers on that one street. But they have labeled them number 1, number 2, right to the end. And when you are looking for a building, you're just looking for the number. Any taxi will take you where you want to go. The same thing to the north and the south. So that you start from the middle. In fact, interestingly, that middle area was where the University of Toronto itself is very close. So we knew we would never get lost. You cannot get lost in a city like that, like Toronto in Canada. This is what we need in Nairobi. You don't need to be asking everybody for where to go. We need to know if a chemist is in street number 1B, then you go to number 1B. So we need a very simple way of listing our streets or creating address for our streets. And this is extremely important. And it's more important not just for the essential services that we require, but also for people who want to visit. Our tourists, God save them, because when they're in the streets of Nairobi, they don't know where to go because they cannot name anything. So they don't know where to meet unless they're in a hotel. Because now you can find the hotels because they've been marked, even in Google. But if you are not in a hotel and you're going to buy something and they go out to buy something, they can spend the whole day looking for one another. Just because they can't. We have not named, we have not put any address in any of the shops that we have. And that is really something. So establishing a framework for standardizing how we name our streets and in which and how we name our we place our addresses is extremely important. And I thank Senator Dulo for coming up with such an important bill. Madam Speaker, we are dealing with, in the Committee of Devolution, we are dealing with municipalities, the establishment of new municipalities in this country. And this bill, when it goes through, will be able to guide them, because they will realize that if they plan their municipalities from inception, it will be very easy for them to actually put addresses on them. Because you cannot put an address in something that is confused and doesn't have clear directions. So while we are dealing with the planning of municipalities, this again is a bill that is going to take us very far. Madam Speaker, mine was going to be very free, because I fully support and I see that it's going to take us from the darkness that we are in, as I said, dark streets that you cannot tell where you are, from shopping centers that have not been labeled, to streets where you cannot tell whether you are in the east or the west of wherever you are going. Providing a framework for the preservation of a county's history is one of the most important features that this bill is going to have. Because we know that there are people who have made notable contributions in our counties. But we have appeared as though we are a country that does not have a sense of appreciation to human beings. So that we have people, elders who have gone, who made a lot of impact. We have people in our history who even participated in the independence of this country, but nobody has recognized them. So again, by coming up with this kind of naming, we will be able to, street naming, we should be able to recognize each and everybody who has been in our counties. And everybody will feel appreciated, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the institutional framework on, has been well articulated. I don't want even to touch on that one. And just to say, Madam Speaker, that it is very, very important for us to recognize that an organized way of creating an address system is the foundation of the development of any municipality, any town, and any city. And we should support this bill and make sure that it moves from this house today to the next house so that it comes back for ascending. With those remarks, Madam Speaker, I support.
Senator Nyamo, did you want to contribute? Senator Nyamo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to support the street naming and addressing bill by Senator Dulo. Mr. Speaker, this is a very progressive bill, and this is one of those legislations that whose impact will be felt directly by the people. When you, at a glance, when you look at this bill, you might think it is a bill about naming streets. But when you read it carefully, you realize it is a bill on planning, it is a bill on order, and it is a complete game changer. One of the strongest attributes of this bill is that it requires every street, every property to have a unique number that identifies it, Madam Speaker. Another good thing about this bill is that it respects the place of devolution, because as much as there's a national aspect to it, the bill gives a responsibility to county addressing committees to identify and come up with a proper way of naming our streets and properties. This bill is going to impact our emergency services, as the mover has clearly stated. Because when you're in an ambulance, every second counts. And so if you have the exact address, the chances of getting lost are eliminated. To date, as Kenyans, it is a shame that we still describe addresses like past the Blue Gate, after the third block, ukipiga corner, you know? And if you have traveled, you will appreciate so much this piece of legislation. And I want to urge the committees, the addressing committees, that the informal sectors and rural areas are not left out during the addressing, and the fast-growing towns are not left out during this addressing. Madam Speaker, I am not a feminist, but I note that this very progressive law is brought to this House by a woman, a strong woman, a role model to us. And Madam Speaker, today, Boni Halwale, Senator, I don't know what he has against me. He has championed people to shoot down my bill on mining, Madam Speaker. The entitlement with these older senators who think that they are the only ones who can bring a progressive bill to this House. I had a side talk with him, and I wanted to understand why he lobbied to shoot down my bill. And he told me that in Ikolomani they got 58 shillings as royalties. So what does it have to do with the committees that I was establishing in my bill to handle royalties? It is up to him to go.
Senator Karen Nyamu, you are making an allegation which I don't know whether you can substantiate. I think you might just want to contribute to this bill, because you are not here most of the time, and I think if you are put
what
to...
I'm saying can be... I have witnesses in this House, and I want to tell Senator Boni Halwale, if he wants to come and vie for Nairobi Woman Rep with me, he is free to do so. But he should let us women take up our legislative role, and we are minding our own business. But if he wants to go low, Madam Speaker, we know how to go lower. And with those few remarks, I want to support this bill, and that is going to change the landscape of this country completely. I thank you.
Senator Eddie Okech.
Madam Speaker, right from the onset, may I support and appreciate the depth of this bill. In fact, I've had the honor as the chair of Roads and Transport Committee to be able to canvass through this bill when it was brought to my committee. And I want to appreciate Senator Dulo for this incredible piece of legislation that she has brought. In fact, it's one of the most forward-thinking pieces of legislation that we have in our country, Madam Speaker. I don't imagine where we can see that a number of countries are now moving towards digital address system, that in our country we are still struggling with address systems of locations, homes, commercial places, in such a way that, Madam Speaker, if you may think about it, people struggle to even just name where they're going by landmarks. You'll find Senator Methu sometimes coming to Nairobi from his home constituency. When he's giving a direction, he wants to tell you that come near this building or that building or this kind of landmark. In a time that other countries that have made adventurous strides on technology are now in nanotechnology, and we are still struggling with simple address systems. So it is a very forward-thinking bill that we must appreciate Senator Dulo for. And Madam Speaker, this bill, the way it is constructed and the way we worked on it together with Senator Dulo, is a bill that will solve a lot of problems that I wish that this House will even be able to fast track. If you look at part 2 of the bill, it talks about institutional framework on national addressing system. This framework, Madam Speaker, has been put to the extent that it deals with a number of indices that pertain to the Land Commission and pertains also to the departments, state departments that will deal with communication, Madam Speaker, to the extent that the setting up of this bill will move us very fast from just normal and typical addressing system to catching up on the digital address system, Madam Speaker. And Madam Speaker, the essence of this bill, if you look at it, the way it is constructed, Madam Speaker, I like the contribution by my sister and senior, Senator Kamar. The first sense that it brings about, Madam Speaker, is the idea of rapid response to emergencies that we have in this country, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, there is nothing that will save lives than having accurate street names and property numbers that will allow things like ambulances, even police, and sometimes even firefighters reach and be able to locate victims of different emergencies in our country more instant than what this bill proposes, Madam Speaker. To that effect, Madam Speaker, I can see how this bill will help us to eliminate delays where we no longer depend on landmarks, as I've said, or sometimes even kiosk. And you know, some people from the villages will look ridiculous if we were using things like trees and informal stages. It used to be that when I came to Nairobi first, Madam Speaker, when you wanted to locate yourself within the Nairobi CBD, you simply went to OTC and sometimes to Afya Center. And then you start getting your bearing from OTC and Afya Center, Madam Speaker. Just imagine the kind of delay if this was to be supposed to be the firefighters going through OTC, which still has got a lot of traffic, to locate where they need to go. And sometimes even just to deal with the traffic that we see in this city, Madam Speaker, it is extremely important that we can be able to name our streets, our businesses, our residential areas properly, which is what this bill proposes, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, alongside that, Madam Speaker, you've seen a number of companies coming into the country. I came from the private sector, and if you see me celebrating this bill, Madam Speaker, it's because of the kind of menace I saw in the private sector. If you think about e-commerce and logistics businesses that have tried in the startup space in this country, the reason why they collapse seriously is because there's no boost in terms of addressing system. Madam Speaker, there's a company called Sandy, one of the companies that I really enjoyed using their services, and I also really celebrated the brainchild of that company coming from Nyanza and a son of this Kenya, a son of this country called Meshach, Madam Speaker. One of the biggest struggles that Sandy ended up facing was the issue of proper addressing system, because you'll find that they were in the cargo business and delivery business, Madam Speaker. They had serious problem with labeled areas that were not making sense. To some extent, even the addresses were not verified. So that the e-commerce businesses in this country and any startups that tried to enter the e-commerce sector, including startups like Jumia, Madam Speaker, you'll find that these businesses face about 70% to 75% delays in terms of delivering cargo. And the investment is humongous, because if you have got, for instance, trucks delivering cargoes to different places, any delay, first of all, deals with time, and any delays also have got impact in terms of their fuel that they must spend in these vehicles, Madam Speaker. So then you end up having a serious cash crunch in terms of cash flow for these businesses. They end up using a lot of money in just trying to navigate poorly marked addresses, and sometimes addresses that are not verified at all. So, Madam Speaker, I can see how this bill by Senator Dulo will be able to help us boost and bolster the e-commerce and the logistic business that we have in this country. Some of these e-commerce, Madam Speaker, a myriad of them that we are seeing now across the country are also in the areas of door-to-door delivery. And Madam Speaker, I'm sure you are quite familiar with things like Glovo, things like Uber Eats. We have got Lyft, we have got Maramoja that tried and sometimes faced a lot of failure because of lack of digital addressing system, Madam Speaker. Those simple digital enabled services that are delivered to our door-to-door, be it from food delivery to people who are seeking rides, services to people who are simply trying to navigate simple door-to-door and doorstep deliveries, Madam Speaker. These are times that this kind of bill will allow them to be more accurate, Madam Speaker. And when that accuracy comes about, it does not only bolster and boost the revenue to the private sector, Madam Speaker, it actually also does boost the revenue to government. Because, Madam Speaker, efficient taxation and tax collection in this country is not devoid of standardized addresses that can be able to allow KRA, for instance, be able to locate businesses more easily and be able to locate some of the informal businesses that cannot be put in the tax bracket, because now they can also have an advantage to be able to reach those businesses, to be able to enable them have better services, Madam Speaker. And even as a house, we are here to promote what you'll call devolution. And even in our devolved systems, where we have seen things like property rate management and land rates, Madam Speaker, as a revenue stream for our counties, this is what will bolster their sense of revenue collection. Because if you look at the way this bill is constructed, Madam Speaker, you can see that it will enable the land authorities in counties to be more accurate in terms of registering different property, and also to be able to track defaulters who are defaulting on land rates with better way of being able to identify those land and different property that perhaps are not well located digitally. So, Madam Speaker, I can see how this bill will have an overarching and overreaching effect on revenue collection in the public sector, just the same way it will be able to help boost the cash flow of the private sector. But, Madam Speaker, up and above that, this bill is not only about money, and it's not only about efficiency and effectiveness in terms of delivery of services to people, but it's also actually a very good bill that will ensure that there is proper public service delivery. Madam Speaker, if you think about some of the things that I was talking about that I was dealing with in the committee of CIPIC, where I served as a vice chair, and now, Madam Speaker, I've also been removed from CIPIC. I don't know why, when members were contributing, they were not sympathizing with me. That I've been a very good member of CIPIC, a very good contributor in CIPIC, and I've been taken away of that committee. Perhaps the nation should know that I have not cried, because I think that members who were taken from other committees, like Senator Ezena, as well as Senator Mwaruma, will just contribute as best as I did. Some of the utilities that I was dealing with in that committee, Madam Speaker, includes water. Water services in our counties. How WSPs are able to take water to different communities, both by rectification and also by BOZA, water BOZA deliveries to these places. If you think about electricity in our communities, Madam Speaker, you'll be called about a transformer here that has experienced some vagary of nature, therefore it burst. They're bursting every single second. If you think about metering, water metering systems in our urban areas, and even electricity metering systems in our urban areas, Madam Speaker, these are services that governors and government, national government should actually be able to give our people. Telecommunication companies in the country, Madam Speaker, how easy can they map places where they're going to correct a mast that has faced a problem here and there, or they are simply going to do an internet connectivity exercise, or any kind of services to all these households, Madam Speaker. They spend a lot of time just trying to navigate, just trying to figure out where they are going to offer this service, Madam Speaker. And so in some cases, people have delayed services to the extent that a week or a month, household goes without electricity, household goes without water provision, household go without proper telecommunication responses on a matter as simple as just lack of navigation. The address system cannot be found. And Madam Speaker, this happens because of lack of this proper addressing system. And this bill will solve this in the most timely manner, Madam Speaker. I've also seen this, Madam Speaker, if you think about it, in terms of even our delayed schooling problems. If you think about it, Madam Speaker, school capitation disbursement that we see here, and sometimes simple facilities that you can be able to track in our schools, we have a problem because of our addressing system, Madam Speaker. Think about even when our kids are going towards examination, and you have sent officers to take exams to different places, and you're told that exams arrived in some places 2 days late, some have arrived hours late, and you want to harmonize a way with which all the exams can start at the same time. Madam Speaker, you end up having delayed schooling, delayed examination, simply because people cannot be able to get address. You have sent people to Turkana, you have sent people to somewhere like Migori, in Nyatike. Exams once arrive late because somebody did not know how to navigate a school somewhere in a remote village. This kind of innovation will help us to be able to deal with those kind of problems, Madam Speaker. And we are going to an electoral cycle, Madam Speaker. And you know, during elections, we have seen a time without number, ballot papers arriving very late because drivers could not be able to navigate some school in Kwiroro, where Senator Boni Alwale comes from, or some school or polling station in Masangora, where I come from in Kuria. You are told that, the ballots, instead of arriving at 8 a.m., they are arriving at 5 p.m. and denying people from those places their rightful constitutional right to vote, Madam Speaker. So this is a very holistic bill that will solve a lot of our problems as a country, Madam Speaker. And in any case, if you're not doing it just for the country and services and making sure that commerce goes well in the country, it is very important that where Kenya finds itself today, Madam Speaker, we can have a global standard and in our digital mapping system of our addresses, Madam Speaker. This is the bill that is first going to be bold enough to make sure that we have got a unified framework to deal with systems that are fragmented in our local areas in terms of data gathering of local businesses, data gathering of local residential areas, data gathering of local property, to the extent that we can be able to match countries that has made serious strides in terms of accurate GPS data. And Madam Speaker, this is just something that we must achieve as a country. We must be a country that is integrated into the global GPS system in terms of address system, so that even businesses that have made strides, like Amazon, for instance, if they were to expand to Kenya and create thousands of businesses, and perhaps even people who are in the venture capital markets that perhaps want to invest in something like Jumia, something like Sandy that died, something like Twiga Foods that died, Madam Speaker, something like Glovo, something like Uber, something like we have another one called Bolt. If we are going to attract foreign direct investment and even mobilize local capital into the venture market, Madam Speaker, they must have confidence that our GPS data makes sense to the global north and to the global business circle. And the only way you can be able to approve, to meet that, Madam Speaker, is giving this bill some breath to life and making sure that, Madam Speaker, when somebody thinks about the use of plus codes, for instance, to be able to ensure a sober digital address system, then it makes sense for Kenya. And Madam Speaker, if South Africa has this, and we are competing with them at a global level in terms of economic merit, if Egypt have the same, if Nigeria have the same proper and sound addressing system, there is no reason why Kenya is lagging behind. So I want to congratulate my sister, my senior ranking member, Senator Dulo, for thinking like a Gen Z, for thinking, you know, like the younger generation and bringing a sober bill to this House that will make sure that issue of address system is something that will be something of the past if this bill is implemented. Therefore, Madam Speaker, I want to proudly support and wish that the majority leader will follow this bill very strongly in the National Assembly and make sure that it is given life during our time as a Senate before this fourth Senate dissolves comes next year. I support and I thank you, Madam Speaker.
Senator Kinyua.
Asanti Bi Speaker kunipa fursa hii, na nataka kumpongeza Senator Dulo kwa kuleta mswada huu wa mfumo wa utambuzi wa anwani za majengo na upeaji majina barabara. Bi Speaker, huu mswada unapaswa kuwa umepitishwa kwa wakati huu, kwa sababu kumekuwa na changamoto katika miji yetu na vile vile katika sehemu nyingi za Jamhuri ya Kenya. Lakini tukipata kupitisha mswada huu, kutakuwa na udhabiti, kujua mahali ambapo mtu anakoenda. Bwana Spika, mtu akisafiri nchi zingine ambazo zimeendelea, Bwana Spika, Abi Spika, inakuwa ni rahisi sana kupata ramani mahali unakoenda, kwa sababu majengo ya nyumba yamewekwa alama vizuri na vile vile yanajulikana kwa majina. Barabara zina majina na vile vile sehemu zote mahali unapitia kuna majina. Bi Speaker, mswada huu ukipita itaweka wazi, kwa sababu hapa nchini unapata hata wakati kumekuwa na janga la moto, inakuwa ni vigumu sana haya magari ya kuzima moto kuweza kufika mahali ambapo mtu angelitaka kwenda kuzima ule moto. Sio hiyo peke yake, Bwana Spika, hata wakati kuna haya mashambulizi, pengine upige simu unataka usaidizi, huwezi ukaambilia mtu mahali upo, kwa sababu miji yetu vile vile manispa zetu ziko katika hali shagarabagara. Kisa na maana kwa sababu hakuna mpangilio wote ambao umewekwa wazi. Kwa hivyo nataka kukubaliana na Senator Dulo, na huu mswada, Bi Speaker, unapaswa ukuwa umepitishwa wakati huu tunaongea, kwa sababu Bi Speaker, kitu cha kwanza wakati tunaanzisha miji yoyote ni kuwe na zile ramani ambazo zimewekwa wazi, na zikiwa zimewekwa wazi unaona ya kwamba tutakuwa tukizuia mambo mengi. Sio tu huu kupatia majina, Bwana Speaker, Abi Speaker, lakini vile vile hawa watu ambao wanaiba mali wanaweza wakasimamishwa na mswada huu, kwa sababu tukiweza kuwa na mfumo mpya wa kusema hospitali iko hapa, jina la ile hospitali, na sio tu Bi Speaker kusema ya kwamba hospitali iko pale, lakini kunapaswa kuwe na mikakati dhabiti ya kusema ya kwamba hata alama na vile ambavyo hizi barabara ambavyo zinapewa majina ama ile lamani ambayo itakayotumika, Bi Speaker, imeelezewa wazi hapa katika mswada huu. Kwa hivyo, Bi Speaker, huu mswada ni mswada ambao utachangia mambo mengi. Utachangia mambo ya kidharura, tutakuwa tumeweza kujiondoa katika zile changamoto Bwana Speaker, Bi Speaker. Vile vile ikiwa ni taasisi tofauti ambazo zinahusika, kama ni wale watu ambao wanahusika kuhusu mambo ya kawi ama stima, Bi Speaker, wale ambao wanahusika na mambo ya maji, Bi Speaker, wanaweza kufuatilia vizuri. Wakati unaweka maji, unajua sehemu hii inapaswa kuwa ni ya maji, na kuna vile vibao ambavyo vimewekwa vizuri, na mtu anaweza kujua hii sehemu inapaswa kutumiwa kufanya kazi gani na ile nyingine inapaswa kutumia kufanya kazi gani. Bi Speaker, mimi na wewe tuko katika kamati ya elimu. Ukitembea sehemu nyingi, huwezi kujua mahali kunapaswa kuwa kama ni shule ya chekechea ama ni hizi shule gani yoyote. Lakini kukiwa na hizi ramani, unaweza kufuatilia vizuri. Tumekuwa na wewe tukizunguka, mfano Mombasa. Tumezunguka katika vile vitongoji, Bwana Bi Speaker, unapata barabara hakuna, lakini pale ndani unapata iko shule. Lakini kuweza kufika katika ile shule inakuwa ni changamoto. Ikiwa kumetokea mfano kuna jambo lolote, mkasa wa moto, kumetokea mkasa wa upepo, pengine vitu vimebomolewa, hata kumwambilia mtu mahali ulipo inakuwa ni changamoto, Bi Speaker. Bi Speaker, ni vizuri huu mswada hivi umeletwa, Bwana Bi Speaker, na mimi nasema umechelewa kwa sababu nchi nyingi ambazo tunatembelea haupaswi kumuuliza mtu njia. Ukija hapa Nairobi, na mji huu ndio mji ambao tunaweza tukajivunia, unapata hata kujua, ukiambiliwa mahali utaenda, hakuna chochote kinakwambia, na vibao havijaandikwa vizuri. Ukijaribu kutumia hata mifumo ya kisasa ambayo unatumia Google Maps, inafika mahali unapata barabara imepotea kabisa. Kisa na maana hakuna zile ramani ambazo zimeandikwa vizuri. Kwa hivyo mswada huu, nikitaka kumpongeza Senator Dulo, mswada huu utatusaidia, Bi Speaker, sio tu kwa mipango ya kitaifa ama mipango ya gatuzi zetu, lakini hata vile vile maisha yetu kama wananchi wa Kenya itakuwa imepungua. Kwa nini? Ukiwa unatumia gari, Bi Speaker, unaweza ukazunguka mji huu wa Nairobi bila kujua mahali unakokwenda, kwa sababu hakuna ramani thabiti ya kuonyesha mahali unakwenda. Ukitembelea nchi kama Dubai, hauhitaji kumuuliza mtu yoyote, kwa sababu kuna ramani ambazo ziko wazi, unaweza kuziona. Ukienda kama Marekani, ni wazi, nyumba unaona vile ambavyo namba zilizowekwa, unajua upande huu ni namba zipi ziko, upande huu ni namba zapi ziko. Lakini ukitembelea hili jiji letu la Nairobi, Bi Speaker, utafikiria na mji wote ni kitongoji duni, Bi Speaker. Ukianzia kutoka hapa, ukitembea uwezi jua nyumba ni lipi, rangi ni tofauti, hakuna nambari yoyote, uwezi jua ni nyumba ni ipi. Nyumba zenyewe, Bi Speaker, hazipakwi rangi, ni nyumba kuukuu. Najua mswada huu utasaidia katika hiyo hali ya kuweza kuonyesha wazi na kusaidia katika mambo ya kuweka ramani, ndio tuweze kusonga mbele, litasaidia hata kupanga. Bi Speaker, naunga mkono mswada huu na nampongeza Senator wa Isiolo Dulo kwa mswada huu, na nataka kuhakikishia kwamba tutaunga mkono, ndio Senate hii itakapokuwa ikimaliza kazi yake tukue tumepitisha mswada huu. Ndiposa ukitembea na nyuki unaweza kuona hii sehemu ni gani. Tukienda Isiolo tunaona barabara ambayo inaitwa Dulo. Ukienda mahali kunaitwa Eldoret tunaona barabara ambayo inaitwa Professor Kamar, na ni barabara ambayo imenyoka vizuri na barabara ambayo imetengenezwa. Nasema asante Bi Speaker, na naunga mkono.
Honorable Senators, I don't see another request for contribution, so I wish to call upon the mover to reply.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker, and all those who have contributed to this particular bill. Madam Speaker, as members have said, this bill will solve a lot of problems in our country, economically, socially, and also putting things in order as far as service delivery is concerned, revenue collection is concerned, security, planning, because sometimes back when I went to my county in some of the villages, whenever there is an emergency, there is no road actually that will be able to guide you very fast and getting mothers who are requiring quick action as far as service delivery is concerned. And I think if this bill is put into operation, Madam Speaker, this will actually be a game changer. And again, Madam Speaker, it will also encourage international companies to come and invest in this country, because it's easy to deal with the business, because somebody can sit even in the US or UK and make sure that they have actually planned their business properly and followed how their businesses are doing. Madam Speaker, if this bill is fast-tracked, I'm sure it will be able to solve so many problems, both for the county and also national level as far as it is concerned. Thank you very much for all those who have supported me, and I beg to reply. I thank you.
Senator Dulo, you want to request deferring of the putting the question?
Madam Speaker, I request deferring putting the question because of the numbers. Maybe we can do at a later date. I thank you.
For convenience of the Senate, it's now 6:20. 6:28, with only less than a minute and a half to go. Time to adjourn the Senate. The Senate therefore stands adjourned until tomorrow, Wednesday, 5th August 2026 at 9:30 a.m.
Congrats. Done.
Asante, my dear.